Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, August 4th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, Cash App $, ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Seattle Mariners, game number 3 of 3, the rubber match. The Mariners won a crazy game last night to be able to get in position to be able to get the brooms out and get the sweep, but it isn't going to be easy. We're going to have all-star versus all-star for a pitching matchup here. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the fucking starting lineups. Let's fucking go. I'm still amped up from SummerSlam last night, baby. Roman is back. Let's go. What a day. And especially last night, Mitch Haniger, bases loaded. And if you ended up watching the game, it should have been strike 3. You know, there was a 2-2 call that was in the zone, and they should have punched him out. But it ended up going 3-2, and then they ended up walking in, you know, the winner, you know, at third base for us to be able to get the victory. So a little controversial, no doubt. But again, we'll take the dub, and hopefully we can end up having some success here tonight. And on the thumb, on the left, you already know who it is. First ballot Hall of Famer, it's BH, Bryce Harper. And on the right, one of the most influential Mariners in very recent memory, Randy Arozarena. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Philadelphia Phillies. Leading off for the Phillies, DHing this afternoon, Kyle Schwarber. I see you, Schwarbs. Batting second, a future Hall of Famer, shortstop, Trey Turner. Imagine the Dodgers are wishing they still had him on the roster. But Philly is very happy to have him. Batting third, another first ballot Hall of Famer, first baseman, Bryce Harper. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, third baseman, Alec Bohm. Batting fifth, playing center field with the best beard in the business, Duck Dynasty, where are you? Brandon Marsh. Batting sixth, catching tonight for the Phillies, JT Realmuto. Batting seventh, playing right field, Nick Castellanos. Batting eighth, playing second base, Bryson Stott. And getting an opportunity to play here in left field, batting ninth, Austin Hayes. And on the mound, an all-star with a 10-5 record out of 21 starts, a 2.94 ERA, one of the best in the business, Zach Wheeler. So this may be a pitching duel where we might not get a whole lot of runs or hits until the 6th inning or maybe around the 5th inning. You know, if we can end up getting both pitchers out of the game a little bit early. Obviously, the Phillies are going to try to get Logan Gilbert out, and we're going to try to do the same with Zach Wheeler. I see you. Now let's get into the starting lineup for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners, center fielder, making a big impact on this team, Victor Robles, playing like an all-star. And if you actually look at his stats, he is actually putting up stats as a top 10 player in Major League Baseball. He's batting over 300, and we wouldn't be as good as we are without Victor Robles. And who would have thought when Julio went down, we would get a player that would be playing better than J-Rod. Crazy. Batting second, left fielder, Randy Arozarena, another individual that's made a huge impact on the Seattle Mariners squad. Batting third, catching this afternoon, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, second baseman, can't play defense worth a shit, but he's able to hit and get big home runs as of late, Jorge Polanco. And hopefully his defense will get better as the year goes on. Batting fifth, playing right field, you know who it is. It's fucking Nuke Rayleigh. Let's go, Luke. Third decker home runs, no problem. Let's go, Luke. Batting sixth, DHing today, the hero last night with bases loaded, taking a walk to bring in the runner from third. Walk-off homer, Mitch Haniger. You know, we'll take a walk-off. We'll take a walk-off homer. We'll take any kind of walk-off that we can get. Nice job, Mitch. And Mitch, you were dog shit at the beginning of the year, right? Both Mitches, Garver and Haniger, but his numbers have actually gone up since we picked up Justin Turner, Victor Robles, and Randy Arozarena. So he's definitely, talking to Justin Turner a lot based off interviews, and it's working. And it's a nice surprise since Haniger has struggled at the beginning of the year. Batting seventh, playing third base, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. Let's go, baby. We need you to step up with Luke Rayleigh. Batting eighth, playing shortstop for the Mariners while JP is down, nursing a broken pinky, Dylan Moore. And batting ninth, getting an opportunity to play today, thank God, first baseman, Jason Bossler. So we're not getting any, at least for right now, Justin Turner is not playing, but I don't be surprised if he ends up DHing late in the game or taking over for Jason Bossler at first base. But Bossler has been a stud, and I like being able to see what he can do out there. And on the mound for the Mariners, our all-star, our stud, you already know who it is, Stetson's finest, 6-7 record with a 3.11 ERA. It's Walter Logan Gilbert. Let's bring that electricity to the lineup, baby. And again, on every single stream, we're going to go over mental health because it's very important. It's the most important thing to take care of every single day. Addiction, depression, anxiety. I go through these things. I know a lot of y'all have gone through it as well. If you can make some minor adjustments to your daily routine, it's as simple as that. You can get back on track. If you're not exercising, get off your ass and exercise. If you're not eating healthy, eat a little bit healthier. You'll feel great and you'll look great. Okay, I'm a great example of that. I dropped 90 pounds within the last year. Okay, and number three, make sure you're spending time with pets, friends, and listening to 30 minutes of music every single day. If you end up doing that, you'll turn your life around and things will get much better for you to win the day. Let's go, baby. Phillies, Mariners, game number 3. We're trying to get the brooms and get the sweep. Will we be able to get it done? I'm not too sure. Yesterday was crazy, and hopefully we can end up getting the dub here this afternoon. Let's go, baby. Bring that electricity. And again, we're going to be going for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. And then we're going to be shooting for 100 in a donos on every single stream. Let's go, baby. Matt in the building. What's good? Let's get to 100 in donos, baby. Let's do it. Let's get it, baby. And if you do have a Twitter/X, do your boy a solid and like and retweet the post. It'll get us more people here. It'll be greatly appreciated. Sports baseball in the building. What's good? And as I can see right now, goodbye. That was really quick. We're not going to be spamming up the chat, bro. You know, I was trying to say hello to you until I scrolled down in the chat, and then you got the Hollywood Hogan boot. We don't be doing that here. You can do that in other places, but not here, baby. Let's go. Daniel in the building. What's good? Captain Oreo in the building. Let's good. Dude, SummerSlam, 10 out of 10. Roman Reigns is back. Mariners won with a walk-off. Obviously, walk. We'll take that as well. TX with a 5-er, getting us started. No Nick Castellanos home run tonight. I hope not. I appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack. Bang, 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 baby. $5 holla, 95 to go. Let's go, baby. Let them know. Let's get it. Let's go. Ooh, a goat has entered the room. Mr. Williams. What's good, brother? I missed you, man. I know you've been working a lot. Thank you so much for your support. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little cactus jack, bag, bag, bag. DX and Mr. Williams. You let me know what you guys want to do for photos, and I got you. Let's go. We're at 55 already before the first pitch. That's what I'm talking about. What a great start. Thank you to the two of you. And again, if you ended up watching any of that game yesterday, it was nerve-wracking. It definitely could have went, any direction. And we won game one. Should have been 10-0, but Scott Service is an idiot. So we ended up, bringing in Diaz, a guy that had a little bit of a, opportunity to play. Shouldn't have closed the game out. Gave up 2 runs. We won 10-2. Kind of fucked up Brian Wu's start. And then we won 6-5 in 10 innings yesterday after being down fucking 5-0. I don't know about a lot of y'all, but this team is fucking for real. First pitch, Logan Gilbert to Kyle Schwarber. Pitches outside, 1-0 count. But it definitely felt very good to be able to, know that in the past, when we were down 5-0, it felt like 10-0, and we weren't coming back. I don't give a shit who we were playing. We weren't. But the addition of these 3 guys have made all the difference. Swag, Victor Robles. Swag and aura, Randy Arozarena. And a lot of swag with JT Justin Turner, the former Dodger and Red Sox. And I couldn't be happier, man. Back. Gone. Wow. Unbelievable. Kyle Schwarber. Schwarb's coming out with a home run right out of the gates out of Logan Gilbert. But that's okay. If it was before Victor Robles, Randy Arozarena, and Justin Turner, maybe we're going to go from this look to this. They're like, fuck my life, right? But we're all good, baby. All right, we already won the first 2 games in the series. We already won the series. And again, you already knew at some point these guys are going to go off. And at least it was only a solo homer rather than a 2-run homer or 3-run blast or a grand salami. Get the mustard and rye bread. So only 1-0. It's all right. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Next up, shortstop, the former Dodger and Philly, Trey Turner. Come on, Logan. You had a little bit of a shaky start. We want to make sure that doesn't happen again. Let's go. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is low and into the dirt. 1-1 count. Trey Turner batting .316, 13 homers, and 37 ribbies here in 2024. Let's go, baby. Appreciate you, Mr. Williams. And Mr. Williams is always going to make sure he represents for mental health. And he's also one of the only individuals that double dips. When he donates, sometimes he'll donate twice. And that's exactly what he did. Thank you so much, man. And again, Venmo and Cash App donos have been a little light as of late. So this is really going to help me pay bills and have money in the pocket rather than having to wait a whole month and being broke all month without getting any Venmo or Cash App donos. Big swing and a miss. Trey Turner, sit down. There we go. Not today. Next up, first baseman Bryce Harper. Let's go. Thank you so much, Mr. Williams. You have no idea, man. It's been a lot lighter than I'm used to, on the Cash App and Venmo side. So this is really, really, really going to help out. Thank you so much, man. Let's go, baby. And obviously, Cash App and Venmo are always going to be preferred, but some people don't have access to those apps. And obviously, YouTube Super Chat, we're going to take those as well. And that's going to help out, obviously, when we end up getting the payment from YouTube and Google, next month. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. And let me throw up this other dono that we got up here as well. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos, and I got you. Not ideal to be able to get that fucking homer by Schwarb right out of the gate. But Mr. Williams always doing big things, baby. Let's go. Mr. Williams with the 50 spot, no problem. And then, hey, let me double it up. $69 dono for mental health. Bang, 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 bang. You're a goat, my brother. You're my goat. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. And we already know how big mental health is. Big swing and a miss. Bryce Harper. See ya fucking later, baby. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you, DX. I appreciate you. Let's go, baby. Mariner Moose out already. Your boy is grinding. And we got good views last night on that SummerSlam stream. 4,400 views. Let's go. We ended up getting some new mods as of late as well with Reefer Boys and obviously here with DX. So it's nice to be able to add the two of you. You guys have been very influential on the channel. And anyone that's going to be able to help me take care of Paisley and help me continue the dream definitely is going to be able to get the priority here on the channel. Darren in the building. What's good? I'm excited for October as well. Let's go, baby. We're at 124. Let's get to 2, baby. Let's get it. Pitch is outside, 1-1 count. Right, we got Julio and we got JP. And I'm going to be honest, Darren. I've been watching this team since 1985. You know, I might look young, but I'm old as shit, right? And I'm going to be very clear. If we can get Julio and JP on track and everything can get, suited and booted and we can end up getting that chemistry. And then the bullpen, that's going to be our biggest weakness. We know Taylor Saucedo is ass. We got a lot of guys in the bullpen that aren't good. We could really use Matt Brash, and him being out for the year has really killed us, right? But be able to add, obviously Jimmy Garcia with Andres Munoz, at least we got 2 guys that we can count on the bullpen, like last year, Munoz and Sewald, right? So again, we need someone else to fill the role. And yeah, you could say Santos, but he gets hurt a lot. So if Santos and Jimmy Garcia and Andres Munoz can hold it down, right? Who's to say the Mariners don't make the ALDS, the ALCS, or the World Series this year, next year, or the following year? And you never know. There we go, another punch out by Logan Gilbert, Stetson's finest. And obviously, if we did not add these 3 players, we're not talking about ALDS, ALCS, winning the division of the AL West or a World Series. But it really comes down to this. Adding Justin Turner changed everything. Adding Randy Arozarena changed everything. And having Victor Robles come over for pretty much a bag of Doritos and Cheetos and playing like a top 10 player in baseball right now, the only player to crack 300, right, for the whole season, besides Hollywood Josh Rojas, who did it in April and May. This is the difference. And again, adding Jimmy Garcia in the bullpen is crazy. And I think as Mariner fans right now, we're as good as anybody in Major League Baseball. All right, you got the Phillies, you got the Dodgers, you got the Brewers, you got the Braves. We're not fucking afraid. You got the Padres as a sleeper team in the National League who could probably beat anybody, in the playoffs if they get hot with their pitching and hitting. Big facts. I know that the Braves, the Brewers, the Phillies, and Dodgers, they don't want to see the San Diego Padres. And I wouldn't either if I was over in the National League, okay? And then you got who? The Orioles, the Yankees, the Guardians, the Twins, the Royals, and the Mariners. Those are the 6 best teams. And at one point, we were the 6th best team out of 6 teams in the American League. But now, we're better than the Twins. We're better than the Royals. And I think for our money's worth, I think we're right there with the Orioles, Yankees, and Guardians. I don't think there's really that much of an advantage. I think we're right there at the top. So if things can go our way, we might be able to smell an ALDS, ALCS, or World Series, even as crazy as it sounds, maybe even this year. This might be a World Series preview. I know it's kind of crazy to think, but it could happen, especially with the additions. And if we get Julio and JP on track, watch out. We're going to have one of the best 1 through 9 lineups that we've ever had. Big facts, baby. 100% agree. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Well, I mean, normally we have, some goats that are very busy. And, we used to hit, big numbers where we would hit $100 very easily. And we would hit like 200 or more. I mean, the most that we've ever hit on the channel was like over 1,500. The single donation goal record on the bottom of the screen is 1,300. So this channel, we're not a bunch of slouches here. We have great support. You know what I mean? There are going to be times where things are a little rough. Where we might not hit the goal, or we might hit half of the goal, or a quarter of the goal. But it's nice to be able to have the GOATs in the room showing this kind of love. Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go. Yep. O-line and defense. You still need to work on the defense as well. And obviously, quarterback, running back, wide receiver. You could also use a better tight end, but tight end is a weakness. Right? Offensive line is a weakness and defense is a weakness. But once you figure that out, they will be able to match up with obviously the Rams right now already. Both of you guys are going to be better than the Cardinals, and the Niners by default are going to be the top team until injuries end up plaguing them. Victor Robles pops it up. I had to hit you with a new Victor Robles too. 1 away. Swag. Look at that uni. City Connects, baby. So fresh and so clean. Electric uniform. Next up, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Let's go. And we'll get some photos as we get into the commercial break. Mr. Williams with another 20, making sure your boy can continue to feed his dog, take care of Paisley Pup, and pay the bills to continue doing the dream. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. Mental health all day, every day, baby. It's all good, man. I know that you go through the ups and downs, and obviously Randy popped up, and the wind is not carrying that too away. You know, you go through the ups and the downs, but we both have saved each other, I think. You know, there's been a time where you were really down, I picked you up. You know, there was times where maybe I was a little down, you picked me up. And again, I can't ever, state, the impact that you've had on this channel. I appreciate you very much, man. Good to see you. And you'll start to meet some of the newbies that have gained some ground here in the channel as well, like DX and Reefer. So appreciate you. Let's go, baby. DX, now Raleigh, back. Almost a homer off the wall. Go, big dumper, go. Big fella. Let's go. Big dumper with a stand-up double. Let's go. Take a bow. That's my boy. Big dumper. Cal Raleigh. High fives for everyone. Let's go. Next up, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Trident's up, baby. You can't defend worth the shit, but again, you can start to hit home runs and RBIs. Let's get it, baby. Let's go, Marinez. DX with a sixer, baby. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. And it shows you, once you get a couple people with the dono train, it carries. Again, if you don't get your first dono after like an hour, it's probably going to be a high probability you're not going to hit the goal. But if you get donos before the stream starts or early on, it can really gain a lot of momentum. Let's go. Let's go, baby. And I'll be doing Kraken matchups. I'll be doing, obviously, Mariner matchups, Oregon Duck matchups, all the NFL teams, not just, the Tampa Bay Bucks. Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night. It's going to be very exciting to be able to see where this team goes. And obviously, if the Seahawks are on, depending on what I got going on, I wouldn't mind, dropping in and doing some streams of them as well. I don't know if I would be using the word great. That's kind of a biased statement. We saw him at Iowa. Now, if it was TJ Hawkinson, then you could say great, or you could say Sam Laporta, great, but Noah Fant, he's average. Let's be honest. He's not George Kittle. He's not Travis Kelce. He's not TJ Hawkinson. He's not Sam Laporta. He's not elite. He's a guy. You know what I mean? He's average. You know what I mean? Now, if they give him more opportunities, we'll be able to see where he goes, but he's replaceable. We have to be honest here. You can like the guys that are on the team, on the Hawks, but he hasn't done anything in his career to say, oh my God, that's a guy we need to keep long-term. That's a position that needs to be upgraded, 100%. And that, that's me with no bias looking at every team if they were my own. Which is outside the Jorge Polanco 3-2 count. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Go, Polo. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Phillies. Runner at second, 2 outs, 3-2 count. Little dribbler right up to Zach Wheeler. Hit him in the shin, bounces it down, throw to first, and we leave one stranded, 1-0 Phillies. What do you guys want to do for photos, PX and Mr. Williams? Absolutely. Again, and a lot of the people that are new, or have been watching, we can do anything on this channel. There's a lot of channels out there that might have more subs and they only focus on just the Seahawks. But how many people out there that can do basketball, baseball, football, hockey, NASCAR, AEW, WWE, UFC, boxing? I haven't seen any. You know what I mean? But it takes a lot of reading, a lot of film study. But again, if I didn't have the best fans here to be able to support, to be able to get this channel to the next level, we just broke 4.1 million views just a few weeks ago. Next goal is 5 million. And again, I got aspirations to be able to hit this to 10 million views and 100K subs. And I know I got a long ways to go, and I got a lot of intermediate goals. 25K subs, 30K subs, 50K subs, 75K subs, and 100. And it might take into my deathbed, unless we go viral or unless the Mariners or Ducks, win a championship and a natty, then maybe the channel will go to another level. And I'm hoping that's going to be the case, but I definitely got the goals in mind, and it's just about taking those baby steps before we can end up getting known. And I really feel that a lot of the bigger channels that are out there that cover sports and wrestling, if they just got a chance to step away from their favorite YouTuber now and to be able to come to our channel, I guarantee that we would get, probably about 35 to 50% of those people that would end up being a part of this channel as well. They wouldn't abandon their favorite, but they definitely would be splitting time with their favorite and this channel. But again, we just have to be able to put on that grind until we can end up getting, viral or getting a little bit more on the, analytics and metrics to get recommended when we're live. And I know we're going to be able to get there, baby. Let's go. Oh, yeah, I got you. All right, I got you. Top of the second, 1-0 Phillies. And how much time, Mr. Williams, do you have? Are you going to only be here for a little bit? Are you going to be here for a long period of time, the whole stream, after the stream, about 20 more minutes? That way I can kind of prep these photos before you go, if you have to go. I know DX is probably going to be here for the whole stream. 0-1 pitch to Brandon Marsh. 1 ball and 1 strike. Come on, Logan. Let's go, baby. But I appreciate the two of you for holding it down. Duck Dynasty's very own Brandon Marsh, best beard in sports, baby. You're chilling? Okay, cool. And thank you. I appreciate you. Pitches outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the only reason he didn't make it this year is that people aren't familiar with Cal Raleigh. He's got the most home runs. He's thrown out the most, runners from first to second. He's one of the best defenders. But again, his batting average is only 200 to 210 typically, or 200 to 220. And the both guys that got voted, to be a starter and a backup, Adley Rutschman and Salvador Perez from the Orioles and the Royals, are batting 300. But it has to be more than just batting 300 and being in an all-star game. There's other factors that lead, like defense and home runs. That fucking matters, and RBIs. There we go. Another strikeout for Logan Gilbert. Woo! Let's go, baby. But the further that we go in the playoffs, the more recognition the Mariner players are going to get. And again, Cal Raleigh is putting up numbers right now, for leading the league in homers, as well as throwing guys out, obviously from the knees to second base. The last time that we've seen someone do those kind of stats was Mike Piazza in 1993. So again, you either know stats or you don't. But again, we will get Cal Raleigh in the All-Star game at some point, and hopefully we give him the Julio money and we give him the bag. Facts. Next up for the Phillies, catcher JT Realmuto. 0-1 pitch, popped up, lined out to right. 2 away. Next up, right fielder Nick Castellanos. And I've been definitely missing NASCAR for these 2-week, vacation that we've had where we haven't had any NASCAR, which is very tough for me. But hopefully, things will get back up to speed. And again, we only have 4 races left until the playoffs. Top of the second, 1-0 Phillies. Kyle Schwarber with a home run and the top of the first to give him the 1-0 lead. 0-1 pitch to Nick Castellanos from Logan Gilbert is a strike, 0-1 count. I'll be getting photos prepped here for DX and for Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, have you seen the movie already? I imagine since you brought it up, you have. And how good is it? It looks good. I know they say fucking it like about 115 times, so not enough is worth me going. We already know Hugh Jackman is the only one that can play Wolverine. Little chopper, foul, behind the count, 0-2. To Castellanos. Pitch outside for a ball, 1-2 count. I mean, you got to understand, we've been following like Iowa tight ends. It's like tight end university, and he's probably the worst one that made the NFL that didn't pan out. I get it. He's bounced around, Broncos, Seahawks, or whatever, but he hasn't been the same type of player, like George Kittle, Dallas Clark, TJ Hawkinson. There's guys that have either been Hall of Fame or very, very good. And if you're looking at a lot of the guys that have come out of Iowa, I mean, not to be an ass or to talk shit, but he's just average. He made the NFL, but he's nowhere being on the level of Sam Laporta, TJ Hawkinson, Kelsey, Kittle, another guy that went to Iowa. He's nowhere near the talent level of those guys, like not even fucking close, So he's a guy that, at least you have a guy that might be able to have a little upside, but he definitely isn't a top 10 tight end. And you might be able to argue he might not even be top 20. Like I said, he's a guy, and again, that's a position that needs to be addressed. I mean, just imagine if you had Sam Laporta on the team. That's a guy. That would make a big impact on the Hawks. And again, you're going to need a guy like that moving forward down the road. But speed is one thing, but he definitely has a catch problem. He has the drops a lot. And I feel that he doesn't really run the routes as clean as some of the other guys that have come out of Iowa. So I don't think if he was terrible, he wouldn't be in the NFL. But again, he's just a guy, he's average. He's a starter in the league, but there's definitely others that could be much better for you guys. I'm trying to let you know what you need to be able to take over the Niners, to be the top dog in the NFC West. And, having a guy like that ain't going to do it. Now if Noah Fant is your tight end number 2 and you're doing double tight end sets, that's perfect. But as a 1, not so much. 3-2 pitch. Little chopper foul by Castellanos. I mean, I call it how I see it. I'm not going to bullshit anybody. I'm not going to tell you, yeah, he's great when he's not. You got to be able to take the honest criticism, And again, if you compare him to some of the other guys that are out there, he doesn't cut it, man. And I don't think he'll ever get better. He's just one of those guys that what he is what he is. He kind of hit his ceiling in college, and that's all he's going to be. He might be able to get slightly better with a few more targets, but I mean, you'd be more seasoned, and you'd be more better off just by going more to DK and Tyler Lockett, and as well as some of the others, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Those are guys that, are better, that you need to be able to get the ball. And Kenneth Walker III, those guys are ballers. Noah is a guy that he's okay. He's average. 3-2 pitch from Gilbert to Castellanos. But again, sometimes when we talk about players like that, people get butt hurt. And I'm not saying that you will get butt hurt, and again, it's like we like our guys, you know what I mean? But you have to understand, I'm not a 49er fan talking shit and trying to, rile up the feathers and trying to get into a fight and having this verbal assault. And I'm a guy that, treats every team as their mine, all 32, no bias. So, and when you do get a tight end, that will be the tight end of the future, you're going to know it. You know what I mean? And once you guys get your Sam Laporta, your TJ Hawkinson, your George Kittle, your Travis Kelce, that might be the difference between you guys, making the playoffs and, maybe a wild card team, or maybe winning the division and possibly getting to an NFC championship game one day if you can build up the O-line, get a better tight end, and build up the defense. 3-2 pitch. Check swing, and that one goes foul. Count remains 3-2. I bet. And then you can give me more information on that as well. Yeah, I mean, you're only going to be able to be as good as your O-line. Just like Breece Hall there on the Jets. If the better O-line you have, the more that you're going to break out. And Breece and Kenneth are always going to be linked. 3-2 pitch. Chopper towards third base. Throw to first. Got him. But he is a tight end 2, not a tight end 1. I think it's pretty clear. All right, let's get these photos up here for DX, and then I'll get some Wolverine and Deadpool here for my boy, Mr. Williams. Maybe throw up some Otanis or Mookies or Freddies, being a Dodger fan like my dad. Appreciate you. Due up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, Victor Robles. Batting second, 0 for 1, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And batting third, 1 for 1, catcher Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Let's try to get to 20 likes within the first hour. 30 to 50 overall, baby. Great to see you back in the room, my guy. Thank you so much for your guys' generosity as well. I need it. Got one more here. Got to work fast, man. HD 4K all day, baby. That's dope, too, with the claws, with the Deadpool right there. Attention to detail. You know, that's my life, man. Little dribbler for Luke Raley. Run to first. Got him, barely. It's okay, Luke. Keep running hard to first base, my guy. That's one thing I really picked up on Luke Raley. He is an effort guy, and that's why him and Cal are such good buddies. Effort, 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 baby. Let's go. Maybe we'll get something crazy like that later in the matchup. A little tridents up, baby. Next up for the Mariners, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Haniger, who is garbage in April and May and June, but definitely has picked it up here in the end of July and the beginning here of August. Let's go. 213 average, 11 homers, and 38 ribbies. And a lot of us were thinking, maybe you should have gotten deactivated before Ty France, but when Julio had the injury, and we've seen Victor Robles get kind of nicked up, the Mariners made the right decision. Even though Haniger did deserve to get cut or deactivated or traded, it's probably a good thing that we hung on to him, and you can always have him play in right field, DH, or just have an emergency guy if we need someone at some point or another. But again, he needs to be able to step up. Ooh, nice diving catch for the Phillies. 2 away. It's okay, Mitch. Next up, third baseman, Hollywood Josh Rojas. So fresh and so clean, clean. Let's go, baby. Bring that electricity. Let's go. "100% disagree." You know, that's just being a hater. Like acting like Geno Smith isn't one of the top 12 quarterbacks right now. He's like a Baker Mayfield. Not everybody is going to be Patrick Mahomes. Not everyone is going to be Jalen Hurts. Not everyone's going to be Joe Burrow. Okay, but if you're ranked 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, right? There's 32 teams in the NFL. Okay. So I 100% disagree. That's just being a hater. Now, again, you could end up having a guy like if you would have drafted Michael Penix Jr. like the Falcons did to sit behind Kirk Cousins and you had someone sitting behind Geno, that's fine, you know, and you are going to be able to need a quarterback soon, you know, but for at least another year or two, Geno is capable. And if you actually look at his stat line, he's got a better stat line than Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is a more popular quarterback and younger, but just because Geno went from West Virginia, went to a shitty Jets team that had no help around him or coaching, and then finally made his way to Seattle, kind of like Baker going to Cleveland, having success, going to the Rams, having minor success, and then going to the Bucs. Sometimes it takes a little while to be able to get to the right team, the right coach, the right supporting cast, and the right play callers to pan out. So again, you know, if the Niners have injuries, right, we already know Aaron Donald is no longer on the Rams, okay? So it's going to be a 3-team race. The Cardinals will be at the bottom, right? But who's to say in a couple of years, right, if McDonald can build that squad up as a baby Ravens defense, build up that O-line, you know, Geno is capable enough to get to the playoffs, you know, either win the division at some point in the next couple of years, or more realistically, probably second place over the Rams and Cardinals and getting a wild card. Winning somewhere between 9 and 12 games. That's doable. If you guys play like shit, maybe win 7 or 8. But normally it's not Geno's fault. So, you know, for me, you know, I don't know if you're watching the same Seahawks that I'm watching, you know, but he's shown that he can get it done. You know, he might not be your favorite, but that doesn't mean that he's a garbage quarterback. Facts. Best friend, you and me are the best friends. Let's go. You know, everyone loves to be a hater, you know, when it's not someone that they like, you know, but again, Geno is good enough. It's not Geno's problem or his fault. You know, if you really want to really break it down, the Seahawks offensive line is some shit. It's garbage. The defense is garbage. Okay. So if you end up getting better defense and better O-line and fill in the holes, then Geno will be better. If you don't have an offensive line that can do anything for you, it's almost amazing at this point that you got as good of results with DK, Lockett, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Kenneth Walker with that O-line. And you need a better play caller. So obviously getting a better play caller, better coach, figuring it out, getting the O-line, firmed up, getting the defense firmed up. That's how you end up beating the Niners. But if you don't have all the pieces yet, you can't expect them to be the Niners, or be one of the best teams in football if you don't have all the pieces there. Come on, brother. I like that. You're still in the top 15, top 16. You're still good. Now, of course, you want to be as high as possible. But there's nothing wrong with being 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Because normally, you're going to have like Geno, Baker, Trevor Lawrence. And again, those guys can make a playoff. It's just a matter of how many games can you win. You're probably going to be limited where you may lose the first game that you play. But it is possible that you win one and then you lose the second. But it's a team game, not just, look at the guys that are the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. Nobody has a Super Bowl. Everyone's getting 50, 60 million a year, but nobody's got a Super Bowl. You got Burrow, you got Herbert, you got Jalen Hurts, but no one's got a Super Bowl. So you have to understand, just because you pay a guy 50, 60 million a year and you got a top 10 quarterback, that doesn't mean that you're going to win a Super Bowl. Now, you can't have a shitty quarterback either. You know what I mean? But it's a number of factors. O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end are the most overrated positions in football. Okay? You got to have quality there, but it's not as important as O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, and play calling. And again, not everyone's going to have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid on the team or the squad. You got to be able to understand how a team is built in the NFL. Kirk Cousins is in that group too. Chopper to first, one away. And, who's to say that Cousins and Michael Penix Jr. can't turn that Atlanta Falcon team around? Their problem is coaching, play calling, and a shitty defense. So if they can figure that out, O-line has a couple guys that are good. If you can get the running backs and wide receivers and tight ends, eventually, who's to say maybe the Falcons end up winning the division this year or getting second place? It's going to be a three-team race between my Bucks, the Saints, that are well-rounded on both sides, but Carr stinks. It's not a good fit on the Saints. He was good on the Raiders, but it's not a good fit, with Dennis Allen and the Saints. So we'll see where it goes, but it will be a three-team race, and the Panthers will be at the bottom. Popped up, two away. Yeah, I can get you some if you want to see some. Next up for the Phillies, DHing for Philadelphia, solo shot in the first, Kyle Schwarber. Let's go, baby. Top of the third, 1-0 Phillies. And I knew this was going to be a pitching duel. Two all-stars going at it. Probably not a whole lot of runs or hits or RBIs until the fifth or sixth inning and beyond. But hopefully we can keep it close. We're trying to get the brooms and go for the sweep, maybe. 1-0 pitch from Gilbert to Schwarber. And the days are gone, where you can have, Jim McMahon, Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, and win a Super Bowl. You're going to have better talent than that. But again, if you look at the coaching and the defense that those three teams had, 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, and then you're looking at, obviously, the 2002 Bucks, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice, Ronnie Barber, John Lynch, Hall of Fame on Hall of Fame on Hall of Fame player. You don't see defenses with Hall of Fame players like that, with half of the team being a Hall of Fame roster anymore. There's going to be times where you can win it with like a Nick Foles, right? But you have to have the right pieces there to be able to beat a Tom Brady or an Eli Manning beating a Tom Brady. You got to be able to have those guys like a Michael Strahan. You got to be able to be well-rounded. A little bit of luck is involved as well. But a lot of these top 10 quarterbacks that are overpaid, they may never, ever win a Super Bowl. And again, the way that you win a Super Bowl is like when the Seahawks had Russell Wilson and you ended up adding him to Marshawn Lynch and the Legion of Boom, right? And you had him on his rookie deal. That's how you win a fucking Super Bowl. Before you have to pay a quarterback 40, 50, 60 million per year, right? Get them cheap. And that way you can use the money for the O-line and the defense and the coaching and the play calling, right? You fill all the other holes up. And then that's how you end up winning in that 4-year gap, 4 to 5 year gap, while you're still on the rookie deal. Once they go past the rookie deal, you're fucked, unless you're like a Patrick Mahomes. And not many Patrick Mahomes exist on this planet, as we know. Popped up, Schwarber. Ground rule double for Kyle Schwarber. He's having himself a game. But again, there's many, many fans, that are going to be out there, right? There's bandwagon fans, fair weather fans, average fans, right? Occasional fans, right? Hardcore fans. And then us here, fanatics, and again, you have to be able to look at all of these different little statistics and categories, to understand what it's going to take. But, to act like Geno Smith is the problem, that the Seahawks haven't been able to make a Super Bowl or an NFC championship or win multiple playoff games is ridiculous. He's done as good as he could possibly be with what he has around him. It's not my problem that the O-line needs work. It's not my problem that the defense needs work. And then they made a coaching change this year, but once they figure it out, who's to say that they can't be a 10, 11, 12, 13 win type of team for a few years. But again, he's not going to be able to last that much longer, a couple more years, and then you will have to find a replacement. But for this year going in, he should still be putting up top 12 quarterback stats right there with like a Trevor Lawrence and a Baker Mayfield. And I know there's a lot of teams that wouldn't mind having Geno Smith on their roster, or Baker, or Trevor Lawrence, or Kirk Cousins. It's not Patrick Mahomes, but, what can you do? Top of the third, 1-0 Philadelphia, runner at second, 2 outs. Next up, 0 for 1, 315 average, 13 homers, 37 ribbies, Trey Turner. Popped up. Wind is bringing that one down. And there we go. We leave one stranded. And you got to understand the difference between me and every other sports YouTuber that's out there. A lot of these guys are lazy. They don't end up reading and watching film as much as a lot of us do in this room. And, specifically myself, when you see me grinding every day on the stream, you don't see me reading and doing film study for 5-6 hours a day, every day. For me to be able to come up with these conclusions, to be able to have the ESP that we're going to see Tom Brady have, obviously on Fox, and like Tony Romo has on CBS. The shit isn't just by luck. It's by hard work, by watching the film and reading the articles and the blogs and the vlogs, and being able to understand sports, and also to understand that history tends to repeat itself. If you just can see the patterns. Facts. You. GOAT. I appreciate you. Let me know what else you want to see for photos. You want some Dodger photos? You want some Shohei's? You let me know. And DX, let me know what else you want besides Alexander Albon. I got you. If you guys want some more, throw out some other names and whatever. What you want. I'm going to delete these ones and make some more room. Appreciate the two of you holding it down. We're approaching 49 minutes. See where we're at on the likes. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Let's see where we're at. Where are we at? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? All right, let me see here. We got 2 more likes to get to 20. Oh, we just hit it. Boom, baby. We're at 20. Let's go. Next goal is 30. After that will be 40. Let's go, baby. Let's see who's up here for the Seattle Mariners here in the bottom of the third. Next up for the Mariners, shortstop Dylan Moore. Batting second, first baseman Jason Bossler. And batting third, center fielder Victor Robles. Let's fucking go! All right, I got those. I'm getting those loaded for you right now. And there's not a lot. I mean, there's just a few. But he looks good in the uniform. The person that's going to end up, being in fucking hell are going to be all the weapons that are in Minnesota. Going from Kirk Cousins to J.J. McCarthy is a fucking downgrade, Addison's numbers in the shitter. Justin Jefferson's numbers in the shitter, not the same fantasy value anymore. TJ Hawkinson stats down the shitter. Like, there's still going to be some stats to be had, but it's going to be a big drop-off. And I'm not a real big believer in J.J. McCarthy. Big swing and a miss. 2-2 count. There's going to be a lot of busts in this particular draft. There'll be a couple guys that pan out. There'll be a couple guys that are average, and there'll be a couple guys that will bust, and there'll be a couple guys that will have to wait till they're second or third team like Baker Mayfield before they make it. Facts. But I think the Vikings really, truly fucked up. They could have had Michael Penix Jr., and instead they went for J.J. McCarthy just because they're in the middle of the country and they saw Michigan win a title, with fucking Harbaugh. But there you go. That's the difference between understanding talent and, maybe getting someone that's overhyped, just because they were on Michigan, and let's be honest, when you watch Michigan, were you ever like, ooh, J.J. McCarthy, it's his team? Fuck no. They were a running team with Blake Corum and they played defense. That's all they did. Run the ball a billion times and play defense. So for them to think that J.J. McCarthy is going to be the savior shows you that the Minnesota Vikings are fucking retarded. They're stupid. But again, hopefully for J.J. McCarthy's sake that, he pans out, but again, if I was a Viking fan, I would be fucking livid. But we'll see. Sometimes we end up getting surprised in sports, right? Next up, Dylan Moore here in the box with a 3-2 count. Big swing and a miss. See you later. Nice punch out there by Zach Wheeler. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman, Jason Vossler. Voss can DH as well. It should be the everyday DH, but now we got Justin Turner, so we can kind of flip-flop with Vossler and Turner, which I like. What's going on? What new shows are you watching? You got an Umbrella Academy. The new season is coming out, the last season, season 4. Obviously, The Boys is fantastic. I'm getting that one wrapped up. I'm on the newest season, season 4, episode 3. I've obviously watched The Bear, 10 out of 10, fantastic, from FX. The Acolyte was a disappointment from the Disney Plus, the Star Wars. That was the worst spinoff out of all the spinoffs, but I still watched it because I'm a big Star Wars nerd. Anything Marvel, DC, or Star Wars, I'm watching. But I've pretty much watched all the new programming, for the 4 major shows that broke out in July. And then Umbrella Academy is coming up. If you like sci-fi and like superhero type stuff, that's coming out here in about 4 or 5 days. Big swing and a miss, and there goes Vossler. 2 down. It's okay, Jason. I like you, boss. Next up, center fielder Victor Robles. Olympics. All of Us Are Dead on Netflix. I like zombie shows. You know what one of my favorite zombie shows is iZombie. I know it's kind of cheesy sometimes, but Liv and a lot of the characters, I feel like they suck you in. And I watched it when it was live, and I ended up just rewatching the full show. I don't know how many seasons it was, like 5, 6, 7. And there's moments where it's funny, but I think it's written really well, and the cast is really, really good. And again, there's a lot of different zombie shows that are out there. I know that Santa Clarita Diet one, obviously was one with Oliphant and what's her name, supposedly is halfway decent as well for a few seasons, but I have not watched that. But my dad is big into like zombie shows and sci-fi and whatnot, but does a big like Halloween party. He's got like 6-foot Draculas and like Bigfoots and like props and shit at the house, and does all kinds of sci-fi stuff for like parties for Halloween. But I haven't watched anything zombie related besides iZombie as of late. Which is High and Outside, 1-2 count. Breaking Bad is good. Deadpool 1 and 2, nice. Better Call Saul, have you watched that? Chopper. There we go. There we go. Little fumbling the bag there by third baseman Alec Boehm. We'll take that. I'm not sure if that would be calculated as an error, but we'll take it. Next up, center fielder. After Victor Robles, you already know, Randy Arozarena. 0 for 1. Let's make it 1 for 2, baby. game on-base streak for Randy. Big swing and a miss behind in the count, 0-2. Come on, Randy. A lot of these Cousins photos aren't like connecting over, but I should be able to get a few here. Out of 10 photos, I've gotten 2, so sometimes you got to go through them. Randy, chopper towards third, foul. Oh-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 1-2 count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. All right, got another one. Now we have 3. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Phillies. Schwarber with a first inning home run. Big swing and a miss. Randy Arozarena, goodbye. All right, I got some photos here. Nice job by Zach Wheeler. We're not haters here. End of the third inning, 1-0 Phillies. All-star versus all-star. All right, let's go with some photos here for my boy, Mr. Williams. And I'll have to hit you with the Falcon spinning logo. We got some stuff, obviously, in training camp, little quarterback cam. Him at the podium there, taking some questions. And then, obviously, him here in the black, looking so fresh and so clean. And then here's one with him at his first practice. But obviously once we get closer into the regular season, there'll be more out there. But I've always liked Kurt. I've always thought that he was a gamer. He had to compete with RG3. Obviously, both getting drafted in the same year, having to sit in that shadow. But obviously, RG3 was a flash in the pan, right? And Cousins is still in the league. So sometimes when you end up being that read option guy, like a Colin Kaepernick or an RG3, all it is a fad. And you might be able to get away with it in college because you're faster than a lot of guys there. But in the NFL, there's D linemen that can hang with you for the first 5 or 6 seconds. So if you can't get around them, the linebackers and DNs are going to get you, right? So that type of player is kind of obsolete. Marcus Mariota as well. He's a Duck, but let's be honest, he didn't really have the same kind of career as he did as a Heisman winner on the Oregon Ducks. And I'm a big Duck fan, but again, I'm not saying that Marcus Mariota's career was a failure, but there's a reason why Mariota didn't pan out. LaMichael James didn't pan out. DeAnthony Thomas didn't pan out. No, those are 3 of my favorite guys, with Joey Harrington and a few others and Justin Herbert. But you have to have a certain type of body and mind to be able to make it in a man's game. And you might dominate in college and high school, but that doesn't mean that you're going to dominate in the NFL. Big facts. Wish I could get you a few more. Let me know anything else that you want. If you want some Dodgers with Ohtani or something, I got you there. Next up in the box, Bryce Harper. 0 for 1 with a K. Top of the fourth, 1-0 Phillies. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's get to 30 likes, and let's try to hit the next goal of hitting 2, baby. Let's go. Yeah, I'm happy for the new start. Vikings fans are going to realize that they fucked up. And the thing is, Michael Penix Jr. might end up being the best quarterback in the draft. And he might have to sit for a couple years if Cousins doesn't get hurt. And that might actually be good for him. Just like with Jordan Love sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. And now you've seen Jordan Love kind of take his game to another level. So we'll see on how all the quarterbacks look as we get into the season. Harper, nice little blast towards right field. Luke Rayleigh is there. Nice base knock by BH, Bryce Harper. All right, Bryce, I see you. Next up for the Phillies, third baseman Alec Bohm. We're at 150, 50 to go. Some Turner. Which Turner are we speaking of? Which Turner are we speaking of? Justin. And for Justin Turner photos, I figured that's who you wanted. What photos do you want? You want Dodgers? Oh, Marlins. Mariners, you mean? Justin Turner on the Mariners, Dodgers, Red Sox. And, it's crazy. Getting Turner, when he was on the Dodgers and then he went to Boston, it felt weird, and then now to be able to grab him, on the Mariners, it's awesome, and I mean, my dad loved Justin Turner, and I'm a big Kike Hernandez guy too. And, to see him go to Boston and then come back to the Dodgers, and he's not going to be the best player. He's always going to be like a utility player, a role player. But I love me some Kike Hernandez, not just the fact that I got my first foul ball, at an MLB game, when it was Dodgers Mariners, but I've always liked that kind of utility type of player, and I always kind of root for Kike. So, Primo in the building, what's good? Got you. Brandon Marsh in the building. Top of the fourth, 1-0 Phillies, runner at first. Duck Dynasty is a call-in. 2-1 pitch from Logan to Brandon. But I think that with these additions, with Victor Robles, before the deadline, just picking him up pretty much for nothing, for like a bag of chips. He was good a few years ago when the Nats won the World Series as a rookie, but everyone kind of gave up on him. And now he's playing like a top 10 player in MLB. But I'll be honest, the Randy Arozarena, right, and the Justin Turner pickups are the two most influential pickups that we've had in a long, long time. Castillo was good when we ended up getting him in 2022, but I think Turner and Arozarena have had bigger impacts. Safe at second. And hopefully they'll have more Justin Turner photos available on the Mariners. But these are the two best ones so far. And both guys have made, such big impacts already. But they were both, hitting about 300, in June. So even if their batting average as a whole is in like the 200 to 230, that doesn't matter. If you do shitty in like April and May, but then you start batting 300 or better, in June and July, that's what matters. What you're doing now, not what the fuck you did in April and May. But, again, people like to hate and bring up stupid stats when they don't understand what's going on. But, I really like the additions of Randy Arozarena and Justin Turner, my boy JT, and Victor Robles has played like an all-star, so it's been fucking sweet. What's good, Primo? Gang, gang. Absolutely. And his leadership and experience has already paid off already. All right, let's do that. We're at 150, 50 to go. Top of the fourth, 1-0 Phillies. Throw to second, safe. Runners at first and second with one out. Next up is JT Realmuto. Let's go, Logan. Wheel and deal. Wheel and deal. Stetson's finest. Let's go. It's crazy that the Mariners are able to get guys that no one has ever heard of. Like, where the hell is Stetson? Even if you're the most hardcore fan on planet Earth, you have to look that up on Google unless you actually fucking went there, which no one in this room has. And I imagine that no one in their lifetime will ever meet anyone that actually went there, But the Mariners have been doing big, big things. And in the draft, we ended up getting the best prospect with the most upside by picking around 15, 16, 17 by the pitcher that ended up pitching left-handed and right-handed. Can you imagine a guy pitching right-handed for one inning and then left-handed the next inning? Could end up being a Bryce Miller replacement, because Bryce is our worst pitcher. He's as a starting group, he's number 5, right? George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, Luis Castillo, then Bryce Miller. But if we can get that guy up to speed and he can end up being our new number 5 or better, wow, watch out. Double play, not there. Force out at second, 2 away. All right, JT, I see you. Top of the 4th, runners on the corners. Fielder's choice with the runner out. Real Muto grounded into a fielder's choice into the shortstop. Marsh is out at second. Harper to third. Next up for the Phillies, right fielder Nick Castellanos. Everything's good, brother. It's crazy, like starting this channel with like reaction videos from like rugby and soccer and NFL and things like that, and then doing reaction videos to NFL highlights, and then being able to do like NFL live streams, and then now being able to have to kind of recreate my brand and being able to be known as like the main person that does the Seattle Mariners and the Oregon Ducks. I don't know if I would have thought that would be the route that we would be at years later. But if that's what it's going to take to get this channel off the ground to the next level, obviously being known as the Oregon Duck streamer and Seattle Mariners streamer on YouTube, I'm here for it. Chase that runner down. Get him. There we go. Runner at third out. Great defense by the Mariners, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Phillies. We can get the sweep, baby. And it might only take 3 runs to win this game. JT, all day, every day, baby. Justin Turner. Great addition. Already making huge impacts here in the clubhouse. We love him. Shit, I've loved him since he was on the Dodgers, and it's almost mind-blowing that he's on the team. And then when he went to the Red Sox and then the Blue Jays were only using him as strictly a DH, and that was a mistake. We got a couple brand new JTs that have just been added, and I'll be adding these to the stream as well. Let's go, baby. Let's go. The City Connects are fire. And as we play more games, there'll be more photos available from the photographers. Sometimes I got to wait on them, And it has to be HD 4K. I can't be putting up any bullshit, right? Let's go, baby. Next up for the Mariners, 1-for-1. Big dumper. Catcher Cal Raleigh. Batting second, 0-for-1, second baseman. He can't play defense worth a shit, but he can hit home runs. Jorge Polanco. And batting third, right fielder, Luke Raley. Luke Nukem. Let's go. Nuke Raley. Let's get it, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Bills are expensive. Having a pup is expensive. Doing your dreams is expensive. Step in the building. What's good? Oh, shit. All the goats are coming through today. Step and Mr. Williams in the same stream? Am I dreaming? My goodness. Great to see you guys, man. It's a miracle. Good, Chef. Oh, okay. Yeah, keep me posted, dude. 2-0 pitch to Cal Raleigh. Pitches inside at the knees. 3 balls and no strikes. And I feel that, in the next inning, that might be the inning where we might rough them up here, but it feels like, something good is going to happen for the Mariners here in the next 3 innings. Let's go, Big Dumper. Pitch on the corner for a strike, 3-1 count. We're at 150. Let's get to 2. Three-one pitch to Big Dumper, and that's a walk, baby. I like that. I like that, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll take a walk. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Phillies. Runner at first, 0-1 pitch. Pitches outside to Jorge Polanco. 1 ball and 1 strike. But I'll start to squeeze a few more of those for you, DX, as we go through. A lot of his photos don't really come up, and they don't get formatted properly for whatever reason. But I'm going to keep grinding away, and I'll try to find some fire ones. But some of the best ones, like, they don't format for whatever reason. But I'll be able to find a few. There we go. First couple weren't formatting, but now I'm getting a few more. What's good in your life, Shep? I know you've been working like a mad dog, you and Mr. Williams. That's one thing that both of you guys have in common. You guys, probably get overworked, underappreciated, no fucking thank yous or good jobs, but I'll give you a fucking good job. I'll give you a thank you. I understand. I don't got to be living with you to understand the type of work ethic that you guys have. And I definitely understand what it's like to put in, your blood, sweat, and tears, or just to go to a job and feel kind of underappreciated, right? But hopefully things will get better for the both of y'all. Bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Philly. Runner at first. That one chopped foul by Luke Raley. There's another good one. F1 photos are pretty nice, man. And F1 and the NASCAR Cup Series will be back next week, thank God. One-two count. Chopper, foul towards first base. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But it kind of feels good to be able to break through because, there's so many people that do NFL where they don't do shit all year, but then they do NFL, and it's like such an oversaturated market. So that means I got to do more college football games, college football reactions, and I'll still be doing NFL reaction videos and NFL games, but there's like 1 billion people that do that shit, at least on the, NFL live stream side. And there's a few people that end up doing the reactions, but, to dip into college football, reactions and live streams, baseball, try to tap into some markets that aren't as heavily, saturated, and getting into NHL. We cut back on the NASCAR, but hopefully in the future we can get, people that love it as much as me, and we can get back to doing some NASCAR streams that we did for a few years. But it all depends if it makes sense. I have to be able to get enough people to be able to come through to do it, especially if I'm going to do it like over a Mariner stream. So at this point, it doesn't look like we're going to be doing NASCAR anytime soon, but maybe next year or the year after, depending on the viewership. Bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Philadelphia. That one, Haniger into the wall. Did he catch it? Couldn't even tell. That's a fire one. That's probably the best one that I've seen so far. Let's go, Hanny. Bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Phillies. We got to break through. Let's go, baby. Missed you, bro. Both of you, you and Mr. Williams. Been a minute. One pitch to Haniger. Line drive. Boom, force out at second, and we leave one stranded. End of the fourth inning, 1-0 Phillies. Oh, you did? Thank you, bro. The O Doggy Dog Show. And I've been really light on, like I mentioned, on the Venmo and the Cash App. And so it's kind of nice, when we can end up getting that. Nothing is worse than, being able to get paid only once a month, having Google and YouTube take out a crazy percentage, like 30-35%, and then, not getting any Venmo or Cash App for weeks at a time, and then being pretty much fucking broke after you pay the bills and whatnot. Mr. Williams. And then we got Shepard Williams. Shep with a 25er. Thank you, man. I was going to probably go to Petco tomorrow for Paisley, so that's definitely going to help. And like I said, I've had to cut back on booze, drinking, fast food. I've dropped 90 pounds. I'm exercising about an hour and a half a day, 7 days a week. Paisley is great. And I pretty much just hang out here with you guys and with Paisley, and that's it. But thank you, man. Shepard Williams with a $25 dono. Bang, bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do for a photo or photos. You got some Falcon photos that you want me? We actually put up Kirk Cousins just a little while back. They're on the Falcons, but if there's something specific you want to see, Braves or Falcons or anything, you let me know. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. And if you are unfamiliar with Shepard, obviously he is a GOAT. And again, there's been a few people, Mr. Williams and Shepard Williams, that have been able to, support this channel on a very, very high level. Hundreds and hundreds of donations of big, big dollars to be able to help me, continue my dream. And Shep has got the record with the single highest donation of $1,300 on a single dono. And obviously with Mr. Williams, we've seen him do double donos more than anybody on the channel, and many, many times of donating 100, 200, 300 on this channel as well. So appreciate you guys very much. Gang, gang. Top of the fifth, 1-0 Philadelphia. But I can't wait for Good Morning Football to start stealing my shit during NFL season. Peter Schrager loves doing that. And I don't know if you guys have ended up watching Good Morning Football, but it is terrible. We thought it was a big drop-off after Nate and Kay left, and they brought McCourty. Now they got another guy that replaced McCourty because they went from New York to L.A., and McCourty didn't want to move to the West Coast. And the show is terrible. Like, I'm still going to watch it, but the chemistry is, laughable. Like, they went from being one of the best shows on TV for sports on the NFL side, and the Pat McAfee show going to ESPN, that one went downhill as well. Like, I have nothing I can watch on a regular basis to be happy about. That pisses me off. Like, I can only watch a little of Pat McAfee. I used to watch every minute of, the 3-hour show every day. Not anymore. I used to watch Good Morning Football every day. Not anymore. It's like I find myself trying to watch it, forcing myself because I love the NFL, but then they end up talking about some bullshit like, what do you think about this diet of this player or this fucking outfit? Like, who gives a shit? Like, they always have to come up with these dumbass topics that have nothing to do with football, Like, this is a football show, and I know you need, filler time, but that's the best that you got, Like, the only thing good about Good Morning Football now is Kyle Brandt and Angry Runs, and that's fucking it, period. Top of the fifth, 1-0 Philadelphia. They would be better off, having a rival show that actually had YouTubers on there, and they'd probably get better ratings, Skip Bayless getting fired. You know, I feel sports talk is fucking dead. You know, that the sports talk era of people arguing and yelling at each other, you know, with Skip and Shannon, that shit is done. That shit is, you know, fans don't want that anymore. You know, maybe they thought it was funny to be able to have these guys, but all they did was bring in a bunch of former players that can't talk on the mic, that have shitty ratings, that have no intellect, that can't even spit on the mic. And they think that, oh, we're going to bring in LaShawn McCoy and everyone's going to watch. Fuck no. Like, I don't know, man. You can get better content on YouTube than you can on TV and podcasts. That's when you know that it's gone downhill. Bryson Stott, see you later. Big swing and a miss. Anything Falcons. I got you. It's all about the ESP. Oh, yeah. Pitts' numbers are going to go through the roof, dude. About damn time. Bryson Stott, see you later. Next up for the Phillies, left fielder, former Oriole, Austin Hayes. Absolutely. All the ESP. And you want some more ESP? I'm going to give you right now. Tom Brady is going to be the best on the microphone in the NFL season by a lot. Like Tom Brady on Fox, when you watch him, even regardless if you don't like him, cheating, you know, Buccaneers, not the cheating there, but the Super Bowl, New England Patriots, Belichick with the handies, with Robert Kraft, right? And, you know, Gronk, all that, right? You know, Tony Romo's got the ESP. And obviously we know him and Jim Nantz got the best duo, right? And we obviously know, you know, with Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, they're okay, but they're not great. But when you end up getting the new crew, right, with Tom Brady doing color, you guys are going to be shocked on how funny he is, how well-spoken he is, and how much goddamn ESP he's going to have. It's going to be incredible. And we've been wanting someone good on Fox for a long time. The only shitty part is they're going to be showing the Cowboys fucking all the time, and that'll be lame, but, you know, it is what it is. Big swing and a miss. Let's go. And that has nothing with me like, oh, you're just saying that because, you know, he was on the Buccaneers and got you a Super Bowl. I don't even own a Tom Brady jersey, you know, or a Gronk, you know, so it's like, I don't really buy, you know, offensive guys that we bring over in free agency. I get guys that we draft. Now, do I appreciate Bruce Arians, right? And Rob Gronkowski and AB before he went fucking crazy with the CTE and Tom Brady? Yes. But, you know, if I'm just being non-biased and knowing who he is and being able to see some of his, you know, warm-ups and getting ready for the NFL season, I think people are going to be shocked on how good he is. And then they're going to be comparing Romo and Brady, and then one's on CBS and one's on Fox. But it's about damn time that we had someone better than Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. Big facts. You know, I feel like the announcers on the NFL have kind of gone downhill. It's like a lot of them are like average or like okay, you know, but Gus Johnson is the best in the business. When it was Gus and Charles Davis, the best, but now it's Gus and Joel Klatt. They are best in college football. And the person that I model my game after is someone that, you know, who? Gus Johnson. You know, that natural born energy and excitement where you're not, you know, elevating your voice to sound excited, you know, and it being fake. When someone is fake on the mic, you can tell, you know, and it sounds like shit and it sounds forced. But with Gus, he just loves the game. And, you know, he can make someone, you know, that he sees making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the sideline exciting. And he's the only one that can do that. And I feel like on the NFL side, it's very watered down. And again, some people like Tony Romo, some people don't. But Jim Nantz is the best play-by-play guy in the business as far as the pros. But I'm definitely excited to see Kevin Burkhardt and Tony Romo go at it. We had Burkhardt and Greg Olson, and Olson actually did okay, but he's just not for me. You know what I mean? But I'm very excited to see where that goes. And it shows you, just like in wrestling, right? Anybody can fucking wrestle, right? Anybody can be on a microphone. But the real icons and the legends and the GOATs are the ones that can spit on the mic and fucking obliterate anybody on any given minute. There's a reason why Stone Cold and The Rock are icons compared to some of the others from back in the day. Facts. Top of the fifth, 1-0 Philly. Rojas pops up and flies out. One away. And I don't know if it's just because I was born on May 2nd, but it seems like May 2nd is known for people to spit on the mic. Me, Pat McAfee, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Coincidence? I think not. I don't know what it is about us Brahma Bulls and us Tauruses and having that fucking birthday. But anyone that got that birthday, they be spitting on that mic, baby. Next up, 0 for 1 with a K, shortstop, Dylan Moore. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Demo. And Rojas, get him next time, baby. Let's go. Bottom of the fifth, 1-0 Phillies. And again, it might take until next inning. And once these all-star pitchers go out for us to start to rate. And I'll get some Falcon photos up here. Prep, they're loading now. Have I heard from who? Megan on the channel or a different Megan? I know like 5 Megans. So. Haktua. She was at SummerSlam yesterday. And if you guys didn't watch SummerSlam yesterday, you should have. We ended up having like 4,400 views. And it's the first 10 out of 10 pay-per-view, or PLE is what they call them now, right? First 10 out of 10 that we've had in 2024. Fuck, probably the best 10 out of 10 pay-per-view that we've had in like 5 years. And Roman is back. If you're talking about a guy that moves the fucking needle, it's Roman Reigns. Great to see him back. But the only shitty part is that they were lined up to do the old bloodline with Roman, the Usos, Sammy, Paul Heyman as like the faces, the good guys, against the new bloodline as the heels. And the best person that's in the bloodline, the new one, Jacob Fatu, he like fucked up his leg and it's in a boot now. So the storyline is kind of fucked right now. So we'll have to see where it goes, because he had the athleticism. Because normally when you think of Usos, they're not doing a whole lot of top rope shit unless it's Jimmy and Jay. And Jacob Fatu can do like backflips and shit and go crazy. But when he jumped on the table, he like fucked up his ankle or foot, and I thought he was faking, but apparently he wasn't, unless they're selling the injury on social media, which they might be. I don't know. Sometimes things are kayfabe and fake, and they're just playing a story. Bossler pops up. Routine play, and there it is. Easy 1-2-3 inning, 1-0 Philadelphia. But yeah, Megan comes on the channel often. Greg Gumbel. Yeah, I always like Keith Jackson, the grandpa that did the Pac-10 games back in the day. I like grandpa voices, right? That have that, like Vin Scully, the Harry Carey, the Dave Niehaus, like certain guys in baseball and football, you have to have a certain type of voice and cadence, and you have to be intelligent, and you have to enunciate and pronunciate, and it feels like, a lot of these like former athletes, they think, well, oh, look at me, I'm a millionaire and I played basketball in the NBA, or I was in the MLB or the NFL. Who gives a fuck? If you can't spit on the mic, you're not going to hang anybody's interest. They don't give a shit. Like, ooh, you're Shady McCoy. Oh, LaShawn, like any of your takes are garbage. And a lot of the takes that you get from these former players are incredibly biased, and they're very stupid. It's like I have a hard time being able to like learn something new from these guys. And there's a difference between, guys like Skip and Stephen A that are just like entertainers, and they're really not that smart. They're just collecting the bag. And there's other guys that actually have the intelligence, like Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson. And I look at guys like that. And those are the guys that I want to be able to listen to and learn from. Facts. Shit, put O-Dog in the mic against anybody. I fear no one. Let's get some Falcons up here real quick. Oh, baby. And Michael Penix Jr. Swag, 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 swag. I'm a little jealous. Going from one brother quarterback, from Michael Vick, and then getting another one, both lefties. Yes, please. And I'll tell you what, there's going to be a lot of people, that were Falcon fans that did not watch the Pac-12 that were shitting on this pick. Right? But when it's all said and done, to have a Jordan Love type of impact after sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, you're going to get the same type with Cousins if he ends up tearing an ACL this year, or if he's got to wait 1, 2, 3 years. But there's a very good probability that Michael Penix Jr., he'll be better than Michael Vick. He'll be better than Tua. He'll be the NFC's Tua. Now, he might not be as good as Steve Young, but it might be the closest thing to Steve Young that, we have seen in a while as far as a lefty is concerned. And even if you're a Michael Vick or a Tua type of player, it sounds like that would be top 16 in the NFL. But if you can get closer to Steve Young, maybe he can be top 12. And if that's the case, the Falcons got a quarterback for a long, long time, and lefties are sexy. There's nothing cooler than being able to see a lefty, being able to go down the field. Oh, shit. I mean, I can make beats, like my boy Brooks. People don't realize I can b-boy and I can hip-hop dance. I can make beats. I can play video games. There's a lot of shit that people don't know. Your boy is multi-talented, baby. Top of the sixth, 1-0, Philadelphia. But obviously spitting on the mic, and going about it this way is nice. And it's also cool to be able to, do things like the Mariners and grind it out. If there wasn't so many fucking jobbers and jabronis fucking doing the NFL, being lazy as fuck and not doing anything all year, and then hopping on, and then everyone stealing views from each other, Plus, there's a lot of fakes out there too. That kind of make me sick, when I see people on YouTube try to portray themselves as like a good person, guy or girl. And I know goddamn well that all they care about is likes, subs, views, and donos, and they could give two fucks about anybody but themselves. But again, there's a lot of fake people that are out there, and fake people are attracted to other fake people. So I guess that's how it rolls. But eventually we will get the right people here, and we'll be able to grow substantially. We ain't fake here. Genuine, real, no bias. Trey Turner pops up. Rojas got that one, 2 away. Sorry, Trey. Dodgers were like, damn, we need you. Next up, first baseman, BH, Bryce Harper. Two chops to the throat, baby. All the chopping action. I mean, we're not even I'm not even famous yet. I'm not even big yet. It's like, if you're over 10,000 subs, that's one thing. But there's a lot of people that have 50,000 subs, 100,000 subs, 200,000, 300, 400, 500, 600. But just because you got more doesn't mean that you're smarter or you're better. You're just more popular. Because I really think that, once we break through, like if it takes the Mariners winning, the whole thing, and getting the pennant, and the Ducks winning a natty for us to break out and to be well known on the YouTube circuits, obviously in the YouTube universe, so be it. But we're going to have our day. I will hit 10 million, views. I will hit, 25K, 50K, 75K, 100K before I die. Believe that. I hit you with the Roman Reigns. Ooh, 2-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss to Bryce Harper. 2-1 count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, but okay, the thing is, you got a guy like Rome, right? And Cousins, you got Cousins there. But if you know for a fact that the best quarterback in the draft is sitting there, like if you got a guy that could be Jordan Love or better, like a guy that could be a top 10 quarterback and could be a guy for, a numerous number of years, 10, 15 years, do you really want to just go for a wide receiver? And you know how quarterbacks fail a lot in this league. You got Caleb Williams and you got all these guys, JJ McCarthy, you got a lot of these guys in the draft, but out of the top 5 or 6 guys, how many do you really think are going to pan out? Only 1, maybe 2, right? 2 are going to fail, right? 2 are going to pan out, 1 or 2, and 2 are going to pan out, but not right away. And they might be to that second or third team. So if you know that you can end up getting a franchise guy, especially a lefty, and then after Kirk Cousins, you're set for the next 10 to 15 years at quarterback. If you really want to get a wide receiver, there's going to be other Roma Dunziers down the road that they can get, but there's not going to be another Michael fucking Penix Jr. that more than likely you're going to be able to get. So you have to look at it strategy-wise, Like if you could go back in the draft and think, okay, if I could end up getting a Jordan Love as my backup quarterback, regardless of who your quarterback is now, knowing that he's going to be a solid guy, and you can have that for your future instead of picking a wide receiver that, might turn into a diva. I'm not saying that Rome is, because I know he's not, but, a lot of wide receivers are divas. A lot of them get hurt and some pan out, some don't, but wide receivers are easier to come by. There's many, many guys that you can get in the draft and free agency, but in quarterback, numbers, how many quarterbacks actually pan out. Remember, there's only 32 teams, and we don't even have 32 good quarterbacks. So you have to look at it, supply and demand. Supply and demand. There was dealers back in the day. Supply and demand. You feel me? Top of the 6th, 1-0, Philadelphia. Runner at first, 2 outs, 1-2 count. And again, a lot of Falcons fans that are stupid, were booing the pick because they never watched the Pac-12 or, they don't understand how good Michael Penix. Like, dude, for me, I'm a Duck fan through and through. My favorite player in college football last year was Michael Penix Jr. What Oregon Duck fan that is a super fan would say that over Bo Nix or anybody else, if they weren't biased? So obviously, me breaking down the tape and the film, and I honestly think that if Penix can get a fair shake, learn, and get out there, I think there's a very strong chance that he'll be the best quarterback out of the draft class, regardless of whoever else is there, Caleb and J.J. McCarthy and everybody else. So Drake May, I think a lot of these guys are going to fail, or they might pan out on their second or third team, But Penix is in the best situation out of all the quarterbacks. He's on the Falcons, right? They need better coaching. They need better defense, right? But again, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, O-line, certain things are already there. But again, once they can figure out the defense and the coaching, things can be really good for them. And who's to say that if Kirk Cousins plays well or goes down and Penix gets a chance, the Falcons could end up winning the division this year or getting second place. It's going to be a 3-team duel with the Bucs, the Saints, and the Falcons, but maybe the Bucs win and maybe the Falcons get 2 and Saints get 3, or maybe the Falcons get 1, the Bucs get 2, and the Saints get 3, or maybe the Falcons get 1, and Saints get 2, and the Bucs get 3. That won't happen, but I'm just throwing it out there, So, but again, a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know about Jordan Love, but also you also have to realize with Jordan Love being successful and the Packers being successful, with their quarterbacks, the reason why quarterbacks pan out in fucking Green Bay is because they always have athletic running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. You go back to Don Majkowski, Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love. Name one time that the Packers have never had athletic running backs, wide receivers, or tight ends. They always have. So as long as the O-line is halfway decent and you got a coach that's not fucking brain dead, you're going to be able to move that offense. And obviously, a majority of the time, it's what sucks about the Packers, or they have liabilities. O-line, defense, special teams. And those are going to be worked on. But normally it's not like, oh, the Packers have no athletic running backs, wide receivers, or tight ends. They always do. So as long as you can just not be a turnover machine, Jameis Winston, you'll be fine. Facts, baby. Go to the bottom of the 6th, 1-0 Phillies. Time for the Seattle Mariners to get going. But the person that's going to benefit the most out of this edition of bringing this individual in is this player right here. We got to be able to educate the fans here. Other channels, feed you that brainwashed bullshit, that biased commentary, and they make everyone in the room fucking stupid and dumb. We want to make sure that when people come here, you end up learning something on fantasy football and sports with a no bias attitude. But right there, Mr. Pitts, he could end up being a top 5 tight end fantasy prospect this year, depending on how many targets he gets. At the very least, top 10 tight end, but potential to be like a Sam Laporta, with Jared Goff and how they were able to run shit, there in Detroit. You might be able to get numbers like that, obviously, from Kyle Pitts. We saw what he did at Florida. Never got a chance to get the goddamn ball, but now you got a guy that loves the tight end. So I'm definitely excited to see either Cousins or Penix Jr. go to Pitts, so that way he doesn't have to get fucking depressed, because obviously his career hasn't gone the way that a lot of people thought it would. Facts. Bottom of the 6th, 1-0 Philadelphia. 0-2 count to Victor Robles. That one chop foul. Come on, Mariners. Time to bring that electricity, baby. So fresh and so clean. And in the corner for strike 3. Brutal. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. It's the most important thing you can do every fucking day, okay? If you're slipping into the darkness, make the minor adjustments, all right? If you're not exercising, exercise. If you're not eating healthy, eat healthier. Fast food costs just as much nowadays with inflation. And make sure you're listening to music, spending time with pets and friends. You do that, you'll get back on track, and you can win the day. Big facts. Yes, sir. And the thing is, for all the people that were hating on the Penix pick, right? There's a lot of teams, including the Seahawks, that were looking at him also. So imagine having Geno Smith, and then you got Michael Penix Jr. just waiting. You don't even have to worry about the draft in the next few years. Like, you got your guy. Yeah, and if Geno ends up getting hurt, and he ended up having obviously his knee and his legs looked at just a couple days ago. But for whatever reason, if your guy ends up getting hurt, boom, you can throw him in right away. But for Michael to be able to be the most effective, it'll probably be best for him to sit for a couple years. Now, sitting for 3 years, not so likely, but 1 or 2, and learning, from a guy like Kirk would be huge, or learning from a guy like Geno. But there's a lot of teams that were looking at him, and you can tell, like, with certain fan bases, they were like, oh, I don't know about him, this or that. But if their team ended up drafting Michael Penix Jr., they would be fucking ecstatic. And again, as me, being an evaluator of talent, I'm not going to be right 100% of the time. But if you know my track record in fantasy, as well as ESP and watching games and coming up with predictions, I feel I can match up with anybody on planet Earth. And I think Michael Penix Jr. legitimately has a chance to be the best quarterback in this draft class. So he went to the best situation. Going to the Patriots with Drake May, not so much. Obviously going to the Bears with no O-line. And the defense on the run defense side is good, but the pass defense stinks. And it's the Bears, so they got a kind of a bad reputation, bad, overall kind of juju and vibes. Hopefully it'll get better, you know what I mean? But it is the Chicago Bears that we're talking about. J.J. McCarthy, trash. I can't even pick Justin Jefferson in fantasy now because you got fucking McCarthy there. So it's like some of these guys, we'll see. But the Atlanta Falcons and Michael Penix Jr., all they got to do is figure out the defense and the coaching and the play calling, and then they'll be good to go. 2-1 pitch to Cal, popped up. And that's a routine play for the Phillies. And that is an easy 1-2-3 inning. Come on, Mariners, goddammit. But that's what happens when you have an all-star pitcher going against another all-star pitcher. End of the 6th, 1-0, Philadelphia. Next up for the Phillies, 0-2 with a K, center fielder, Duck Dynasty, Brandon Marsh. Batting second, 0-2, catcher, J.T. Realmuto. And batting third, 0-2, right fielder, Nick Castellanos. Let's fucking go Mariners. Let me know what photos you want to be able to see. DX, Shep, Mr. Williams, I got you. I appreciate that. I feel that I am the most underrated, that is on YouTube. Not to toot the horn and whatnot, but I put a lot of fucking time and energy and effort. And the big thing that I have that other YouTubers don't is I got experience on the phone 20 years, doing phone sales for the most cutthroat companies on planet Earth. You don't hit your goal in a week or two, you're fired. There's a lot of people that, can't hang. And I did it with integrity. There's a lot of people that would lie to be able to keep their job, when you end up doing phone sales for Comcast, DirecTV, or any of these big companies, so... I've been able to work with, people of all races, people of all ages. And once you get to a point where you can spit on the mic and talk on the phone, with anybody of any age, and be able to hold your own, it definitely has carried over into my YouTube career. And I really appreciate the kind words. Raiders in the building. Appreciate you. David Chappelle Sr., no relation to Dave. Damn right, including you. 175, let's get to 2. Yep. Offensive line, not a concern. Really, it's the only concern is the coaching, the play calling, and the defense. Let's go, Mariners. Appreciate you, David. You already know, often imitated, never duplicated, NWSF. Where do you think Peter Schrager comes up with all his material? tries to come across as the most intelligent guy in the NFL circles, but he's the biggest fugazi fraud on planet Earth. Okay? Just because you seem intelligent doesn't mean that you're coming up with all your ideas on your own. All you're doing is going to YouTube channels and stealing their shit. Shame on you. That's why NFL Network and Good Morning Football is in the shitter. K and Nate, that was a strong suit. Besides, obviously, Kyle Brandt, Schrager is just there. Like nobody says, "Oh, I watch Good Morning Football for Peter Schrager." Said no one ever. Little buster. Top of the 7th, 1-0, Philadelphia. Tell me I'm wrong. 251 average, 11 homers, 43 ribbies for Brandon Marsh. 1-1 pitch, fouled off towards first base. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bucks, Rays, Bolts in the building. What's good? One-two pitch. Pitches inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But I don't really like, the direction of where sports talk and, people calling games and talking about sports. But again, that does give a good opportunity for people like me and others that are on YouTube that have mad skills to be able to show how good they really are, And again, if the networks were smart, like ESPN, since they're in the shitter, having even like ESPN de Ocho, but if they had like an ESPN 3 and they had like the best 10 YouTubers that do sports on the network, they would get more ratings than any other ESPN 1 or 2 show or FS1 show that was out there. 100%. But again, these people are stupid. They think people actually watch Stephen A. and Skip and a lot of these other guys, and the ratings are in the shitter, Good Morning Football is not as good as it used to be. Even the Pat McAfee show is not the same. And those were the 2 best. Big swing and a miss. Brandon Marsh, Duck Dynasty. See you later. Rays beat the Astros. Thank you very much. Duck Dynasty, sit down. Trim that beard. Next up, catcher JT Realmuto. Top of the 7th, 1-0, Philadelphia. Chagua on the mound. New addition there from the Marlins in the bullpen. And the bullpen is the weakest spot for the Mariners this season. And we're right there. I mean, we're only down 1. We ended up winning, the first 2 games in the series. We should have won 10-0, but Scott Service is a fucking idiot and put in a guy, Diaz, that had 1 start, played like shit, and then we should have won 10-0 with Wu on the mound and ended up winning 10-2. And then we won yesterday with bases loaded, obviously with a walk. And Haniger ended up getting that walk, so that way we could end up winning 6-5 and 10. And this game has 2 All-Stars on the mound, but we only need a little bit to win. Maybe 2 or 3 runs might get it done. Appreciate you. You're the best. Don't be a stranger. You and Shep, don't be fucking strangers. I will hound both of you, and I will check up on both of you as I continue to do in my life. If I don't hear from you guys after a few weeks, you will be getting a message from me, making sure that you are okay with your mental health and with your jobs that don't appreciate you. But I'll give you the thank yous and the gratitude. Keep being you. And if you guys have any new shows for me to watch, make sure you hit me in the DMs for those. 2-2 pitch. Realmuto chops that one towards third base, foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lauren in the building. What's good? Appreciate you, my guy. You're the best. Appreciate you. We're at 175, 25 to go. Let's get there. Lauren in the building. Trident's up. I still think we're going to win this game. I think there's a very good chance. You just got to be able to find something, and once the starting pitchers go that's when the raking will begin. I mean, we're already trying to get the broom out, right, for the sweep, but Schwarber had a homer, and that's it. Only 4 hits for Philadelphia, 2 for the Mariners, right? But that's a little unusual, right? Robles, Arozarena, Cal, Polo, Luke Rayleigh, Haniger, Rojas, Demo, Vossler. You know what it is? You know how we win the game? I'll give you the fucking formula. Vossler goes out, right? Justin Turner goes in, right? And if that ends up happening, boom, shakalaka, we win the game. Easy as that. Justin Turner should have been playing today. And if he did, we probably would be tied up 1-1 right now. Maybe 2-1. Real Muto. Back, back, back. Oh, baby! Oh, my God. Willie Mays. Let's go. Fucking kidding me? Willie Mays type of catch for Victor Robles. My God. Castellanos. Oh. Wow. Victor Robles. My God. Before Victor Robles, after Victor Robles. Wow-wee. My God. Like that? Bringing the electricity with the defense? Okay. Okay. My God, Willie Mays type of catch. 2 catches that were unbelievable. And who would have thought, Julio Rodriguez goes down, with an injury, and then we get a guy that's playing better than him at this point. And we still love some Julio, and we love JP. But just imagine when JP comes back from that broken pinky and Julio comes back, hell, we might win the AL West. Hell, we might go to the ALDS. Hell, we might go to the ALCS. Hell, we might end up being in the World Series this year. If I would have said that a couple months ago, you would have thought I was goddamn crazy and a homer and biased. But now, adding Victor Robles, Justin Turner, Randy Arozarena, it actually looks like it could happen. Let's go. Time to win this fucking game. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th, baby. And it still might take a little time before we can do that. But I think winning the division is definitely something that we can do over the Astros and the Rangers. Now, an ALDS, I think we could do. But ALCS and World Series, that's a big leap. It might take us a couple years to do that. But if we can get JP and Julio back healthy and hot with this lineup, I think anything is possible. X Factor, baby. X Factor, baby. X Factor, baby. Next up, for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, Luke Rayleigh. And batting third, 0 for 2, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Haniger. Let's go, Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. How many likes are we at? Are we at 30 yet? I haven't checked in a while. Where are we at? Uh-oh, we need one more like to hit 30. Who's it gonna be, brother? There we go. We just hit 30. The next goal, 40. Try to hit 40, baby. You want Mariner content? You got it. I mean, who else is going to be able to stream 150-plus games out of a 162-game season? Absolutely fucking nobody. Let's go. Bottom of the 7th, 1-0 Mariners. Get fucking Zach Wheeler out of the goddamn game. The only reason why they're hanging around with this 1-0 lead. Get Justin Turner in the goddamn game. Yeah, but also, too, if we didn't have All-Star versus All-Star, we would already have 2 or 3 runs right now. Because it seems like we hit over 5 or 6 runs since Randy Arozarena has joined the squad, right? Squad life. Get Zach Wheeler's ass out of there. That's the only reason we're at 1-0. And that's, and they lost the first 2 games, so that's what they're doing. go, baby. Foreshadowing. Unexpected hero. Hello? You can't play defense, but you can do this. Let's go. Electricity. We're at 175. 25 to hit the goal. Pitch is low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes. Seattle Mariners, I'm here. 2-0 pitch from Wheeler to Polo. Pitch is outside, starting to lose it. 3 balls and no strikes. Starting to lose his presence and command. I like. Let's go, Polo. 3-0 pitch right down the middle for a strike. 3-1 count. Three-one pitch to Polo from Wheeler. Polo! Polo! Oh. Fucking the bearded biatch got it. You got to be kidding me. Duck Dynasty got that? Unbelievable. Golly, nice catch by Brandon Marsh. And he's not a bitch. I just got caught up in the moment. Fuck. Damn it. That was close. Next up, Luke Raley. That is like landed. He lost it in the sun and he still got it in his mitt. Unbelievable. Next up, right fielder, Luke Raley. Damn it. That was close, though. At least, you know, the foreshadowing is there. Let's go, Luke. He had a triple-decker homer recently. Bunt attempt. And you know how much I love bunting? And he just couldn't run it out. But I like the idea, though. 2 away. I would have rather had us, you know, do some attempts for bunting early in the game. But I do like that strategy. Kind of, you know, thinking that a guy that's going to be going for a triple-decker homer, maybe if we lay a bunt down, maybe we'll surprise him. And normally that play will work 9 times out of 10. Raley hustles every single time to first base. So if you were going to run that play, that's the guy to do it with the hustle. But good defense there. Next up, the hero from last night, DHing Mitch Haniger. If we implement Justin Turner in the game, we win. Hello, Scott Service, Justin Turner, JT, not Justin Timberlake, but Justin Turner. Let's go. Suit and tie. Let's show you a good time. Come on, baby. Let's go. What you know about that JT suit and tie? Bottom of the 7th, 1-0 Philadelphia. 0-2 pitch from Zach Wheeler to Mitch Haniger. Come on, Annie. Pitch is inside, 1-2 count. Come on, Mariners. What'd you have to eat, brother? I know you work like a madman. Any new shows or movies that you're watching? Big swing and a miss, and then down goes Haniger. Nice by Zach Wheeler there. We'll give him the love. He's been lights out, and that's why he's a fucking all-star. 7 complete, right? And they're desperate because they got their ass kicked in the first 2 games, so they're trying to do whatever they can. If they could pitch Zach Wheeler the whole game, they will, right? Zach Wheeler, 10-5 record, 2.94 ERA, one of the best in Major League Baseball. But again, they lost the first 2 games, and they're doing whatever it takes. But we just need to get this fucker out so that way we can start raking. All right, next up for the Phillies, 0-2 with a K, second baseman Bryson Stott. Batting second, the former Baltimore Oriole, 0-2 with a K, left fielder Austin Hayes. And batting third, the individual that got them the solo dinger in the first inning, Kyle Schwarber. So it's not like Logan Gilbert and the crew have been bad. We just need to figure it out. Oxtails, rice and peas with some cabbage. That sounds good. My diet has completely changed, bro. You know, it's like I want pizza and tacos and, you know, like the fat ass me, you know, from back in the day. And you know, like I do miss flavor time. You know, I try to do like 1 cheat meal a month, you know, and whatnot. But you know, when you end up gaining so much weight, and then you go from 270 plus to 188, you know, I feel like I've lost half of myself, and I've never felt better. I feel like my face is thinned out, my body is thinned out. Paisley's lost weight as well. You
But again, that takes a lot of effort, to be able to change your diet, eat healthy with like vegetables that are steamed like every night, and with like rice and like noodles and stuff like that. Even though I know pizza would be a hell of a lot better, but pizza turns you into a fat ass, right? But it tastes good. And then also, the discipline. You got to have the discipline to be able to exercise. And I'll tell you, man, if I didn't have Paisley Pup, I don't know how fucking fat I would be. But to have that responsibility to be able to walk with her, to go from 270 to 188, sometimes it's tough, but to be able to throw in that hour and a half every day, 7 days a week, I feel great. First time eating since Friday. Goddamn. Game of Thrones. Watch it. It's amazing. You'll love it, dude. You'll love it, especially if you've never watched it before. All right, we're in the top of the 8th, 1-0 Phillies. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I got the Julio jersey on when it's hot here in Oregon. I could have went with the cutoff shirt. I'm trying to get the extra support. Top of the 8th, 1-0 Phillies. Top of the 1st with a Kyle Schwarber solo dinger. That's it. And it's been a pitching duel with Logan Gilbert as well as Zach Wheeler. Logan Gilbert, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks. And Zach Wheeler, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks. Phillies are desperate. We got their ass kicked by the Dodgers, and then, we're trying to be able to pick up the pieces. Mariners have the day off tomorrow, and I am going to be doing the Phillies and the Dodgers tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific, because your boy grinds. And then we'll go back to the Mariners starting on Tuesday. But that's the best matchup tomorrow. And, of course, I'll always lean towards the Dodgers for my dad when the Mariners have a day off. Best matchup, Phillies-Dodgers, MLB Network, 7 o'clock tomorrow. Scott, chop foul. And we got Austin Nola versus Tyler Glasnow, 11-4 versus 8-6. That would be a nice little series. And then starting on Tuesday, we're going to be doing the Mariners hosting the Detroit Tigers, MLB Network, 6:40 Pacific. Stott. Uh-oh. Back. Gone. Fuck. Damn it. 2-0 Phillies. Son of a bitch. They really want this win, don't they? That bastard. Bryson Stott with the dinger. 101.6 exit velo, projected distance 404. 2-0 Phillies. 2 solo dings. That's it. Next up, left fielder Austin Hayes. But we still have 2 innings to come up with some magic. We just got to be able to tie it up. We're not going to win it in the bottom of the 8th or the bottom of the 9th, but if we can just tie it up and find a way to win 3-2 and 10 or 11, that's the goal. You got to be able to talk it into existence, right? But it is very realistic after winning the first 2 games the way that we did in that type of fashion, emotional fashion, that we might end up losing 2-0 or 2-1. It could happen. Big swing and a miss on Austin Hayes behind the count 0-2. But again, it shows you how important Justin Turner is to this lineup, and not having Justin Turner in with Victor Robles and Randy Arozarena. We need all 3 in if we don't have JP and Julio. If we only have 2 out of 3, we're not going to be as good. You got to have JT in there playing first or DH. Again, good vibes only. You got to. And it's a learning lesson for Scott. You got to have all of them in there, baby. Chop foul behind the plate, behind the count 0-2. We need $25 to end up hitting the secondary goal. Popped up. Randy Arozarena says, get out of my way, baby. I got it. All right, let's go. We can still win this. But this is the missing piece. It shows you good vibes only. And a guy that can get singles, doubles, triples, home runs. We need this energy. And we haven't had it today. But again, when you got an all-star versus an all-star, we kind of felt it would be a low-scoring game. So. One away. Big swing and a miss for Kyle Schwarber. 0-1 count. But we already won the first 2 games in the series, and we won the series. So it is a little greedy to try to win all 3 against a team that might end up winning the World Series this year or representing the National League. But again, it just shows, I think, fans that aren't Mariner fans that we're here. If you didn't think we were that good and you guys are only a pitching team, that is false. We can hit now. Again, by adding, Victor Robles, Justin Turner, and Randy Arozarena. Just imagine once we get J.P. Crawford back from the broken pinky and Julio in a few days, and if we can get him up to speed, things can really start happening for the Seattle Mariners, and they already have. We're going to win the AL West. Top of the 8th, 2-0, Philadelphia. 2-1 pitch. Schwarber pops that one foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, the boys, the Bear, definitely those are the 2 best, that came out. The Acolyte on Disney Plus was the worst spinoff for the Star Wars shows, but I still love Star Wars and DC and Marvel and sci-fi shit, so I'm going to watch everything. Schwarbs, line drive, and caught 2 away. But definitely the Bear, the restaurant show on FX, must-see TV. You got to see that. Very emotional, very good. And then about the restaurant life. It's got Lip, obviously, if you're familiar with him and his previous roles in other shows. And the boys. And then Umbrella Academy is coming out, but the Bear and the boys are very, very good. Oh, and Game of Thrones, the spinoff, House of the Dragon. That one has been good too. But if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, at all, you want to watch that first, and it's much better than House of the Dragon, the spinoff. But I enjoyed the spinoff, and it's been pretty good. But the actors and actresses and the writing in Game of Thrones is so good. That's why people like that show like a cult. They like it like Dexter. Or for me, like True Blood, where there's certain shows that I can watch over and over and over, and I still like it. So, and Dexter is coming out with 2 new shows. One where Dexter is in it, and then one where Dexter is voicing as the narrator, and it has a actor that's playing Dexter as a young kid. And so those are going to be coming out too. So, Ancient Aliens, always good. Trey Turner in the box, top of the 8th, 2-0 Phillies. 3-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 3-2 count. Count is full. Oh. I got a pitching change. I'm trying to find this. Let's see if I still have it. I wonder if I deleted it. I'm looking for you, bro. But I had like a little graphic and it had all the shows that came out within like June or July that were worth a damn to actually watch. But I think I might have deleted the post. But definitely The Bear, The Boys, House of the Dragon, new season, The Acolyte. Those were like kind of the main ones. And then Umbrella Academy is good. And obviously they have 3 seasons out right now that you can watch. And then the new one, the final season, is coming out in like a couple days. But obviously you want to watch the first few seasons of that. And that's kind of like superhero, type of show, kind of like The Boys. And I like those type of shows. As long as the cinematography is good and the acting is good and the plot is good and the actors and actresses are good, it doesn't have to be just like DC and Marvel type stuff that's good. So top of the 8th, 2-0 Phillies. Percy Jackson. There you go. But I guess it kind of depends on the type of shows that you like, Chef. What are the shows that you like the most? Like, do you like comedies? You like sci-fi? You like Marvel, DC, Star Wars? Kind of just depends on who you like and whatnot. But I usually get like a list and I'll look it up to all the new shows that are dropping on like Prime and Netflix and Hulu and all of the, fucking things that we have to buy to be able to watch all the shows. Because now it's like you have to get so many apps to be able to watch everything. And then I usually try to go down that list of those main ones. And there was 4 main shows in July, and I think we're going to have 3 or 4 here in August. And then obviously the fall lineup on a lot of the shows will be back, as well as, getting things ramped up for the NFL and college football season. NASCAR Cup is wrapping up, 4 more races until we get to the playoff. And then obviously we'll get into the baseball playoffs, transitioning from August, September into October. 1-1 pitch. Bryce Harper. Back, gone. And the game is over. There goes Bryce Harper. And again, at some point, you knew they were going to go cray-cray. And there it is. 4-0 Phillies. Nice job by Bryce Harper. A little exclamation point. And me putting him on the thumb with this type of graphic. 4-0 Philadelphia. Well, we can't win them all. And we ended up winning the series anyways. We won the first 2 games, and they did have their best pitcher, Zach Wheeler, on the mound for 7 innings. So with no Justin Turner, even if we had Justin Turner, but it shows you Taylor Saucedo is garbage. He is the worst bullpen pitcher that we fucking have, and he always does this. I can't defend the guy, never liked him, and that motherfucker's got to go. And another one. Back. Saucedo is on the streets. 5-0 Phillies. Taylor is garbage. And I know that he's got Pacific Northwest ties, and I know Reflect kind of likes him, but I don't. He's some trash. If you can't play well, I can't defend you. You're garbage. And there's another home run. Alec Boehm. Back-to-back homers from BH Bryce Harper to AB. Fly like a butterfly, sting like AB. Not Antonio Brown, but Alec Boehm. Terrible. Good job, Sauce, you fucking bum. Idiot. Boo! And now Brandon Marsh. The Boo Birds came out for Jorge Polanco, but now the Boo Birds are going to come out, for Saucedo. He needs to stop fucking playing on Twitch and fucking work on his game. That's a fucking problem, You're fucking taking too much time playing goddamn video games on that fucking platform and not working on your game. You stink. Terrible. I mean, we were still probably going to lose this game 2-0, but it definitely didn't need to be 5-0. And you could definitely see the weak spot for the Mariners, our bullpen. Golly. Where's Matt Brash when you need him? Jesus Christ. Next up, JT Realmuto. After Duck Dynasty and Brandon Marsh with a hit, Alec Boehm with a homer, Bryce Harper with a homer, Schwarber with a homer in the first. Golly. Yeah. So for me, right now, the best. You already got your Game of Thrones coming up, but trust me, the Bear I don't know if you've ever watched it before, but it's, like about a restaurant, and it's like very emotional. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It'll make you go through all the emotions. It's a very cool show. It's a one of a kind. I've never seen a show like The Bear ever. About food and like a restaurant business. It's got a great fucking cast. I definitely highly recommend that. And then The Boys, highly recommend. It's insane. Like you see Marvel and DC, but imagine like Marvel and DC like pushing the boundaries of like rated R, like the way that they kill people in that show. Like for the superheroes and some of the shit that happens in that show. It's like you have to watch it to understand. But it's like basically it's about like superheroes that are out there that have the pull, and the influence like someone that's like a political person. They have the popularity of a celebrity, and they're kind of like worshipped, right? And so a lot of these superheroes that have these powers, they end up doing good. But what happens when you can't control them and they end up doing shit that's bad and they do whatever the fuck they want? And that's what it kind of is. So you start to see like Homelander and some of these people that pretty much think they're invincible and they can just like kill whoever they want, do whatever they want. And they have these set of these superheroes, and it's not cheesy at all. I thought when going in that it was going to be stupid or like lame, and it ends up being like one of the coolest shows that I've watched in a fucking long time. And the brand new season 4, just dropped, and I'm on episode 3. And I watched obviously season 1, 2, and 3. I've been binging it for the last like week and a half, 2 weeks, and you won't be disappointed. Yeah, at least it was the Phillies, and you got to understand, the Phillies are one of the best teams in baseball. For us to be able to come back 5-0 yesterday against a team that's 65-45, right? We're 59-53. At some point in a 3 or 4 game series, the Phillies should win, regardless if they're at home or on the road. It's just that it could have been prevented. We could have ended up losing 2-0 or maybe 2-1. But bringing in the wrong bullpen guy in Saucedo, who's absolutely terrible, he should be cut from the team. He doesn't do anything good. Safe at second, but again, Matt Brash was normally our guy that we have in the 6th and 7th, and he never got to play this year, right? And then you got a guy like Gregory Santos, but he's injury prone. Then you got Jimmy Garcia that we just picked up from the Blue Jays, and the only one that we really, really, really can trust is Andres Munoz, but he can't pitch the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Sometimes he'll pitch in the 8th and the 9th and get like a 5-out save. But, the bullpen is a big problem. Like, I hope that one day that we pay big money like we do for pitchers and positional players, and we get the best bullpen guys money can buy. Like, instead of getting a starting pitcher, we can draft those guys. Instead of getting like a utility hitter, why not pay like, $150 million, for like 5 years for like one of the best guys as a bullpen guy? I know that sounds a little ridiculous to some people, but when you play and watch these games and you understand that you can have a 3-0 lead and all of a sudden you bring in your bullpen and they stink and then you might lose 4-3, then you understand. But I hope we can get to a point where we pay big money for a guy that can pitch in the 6th or the 7th. And I know, well, how can we justify paying so much money for a guy that's only going to pitch 1 inning? Well, if you want to win a goddamn game, you got to be able to come through in that fucking inning or 2, instead of like being like Taylor Saucedo and fucking focusing on Twitch and goddamn video games and being ass, Terrible. Seems like every fucking time that guy goes out, he not only gives up hits, but he gives up big home runs to make us lose. We were already going to lose today, but that was fucking terrible. Hi-ya. Motherfucker. Ass. Booty cheeks. Terrible. 6-0 Phillies. This is Trent Thornton. Realmuto singled. And just when the game was 1-0 in reach, 2-0 in reach, a chance in the 8th and the 9th. And it shows you, if you got a stinky bullpen, this is what happens. But we don't have any weak spots besides the bullpen. Santos, Jimmy Garcia, Andres Munoz. So for all the others that we have, collectively, they stink. Next up, Nick Castellanos. Well, at least the Phillies fans are going to get their money today. They've already paid big money for those first 2 losses. Nice catch by Luke Raley. We finally get out of the inning after that pop-up. You know what would be really crazy is if we ended up getting 3 runs this inning, 3 runs in the 9th, and we ended up winning this game 7-6. Not going to happen, but a guy can dream. And if I can put it out there in the universe, sometimes they listen, you know. Sports gods like us here. But that's asking too much, especially when you don't have Justin Turner playing. And that was a Scott Service fuck up. And I know, you want to give him, maybe a breather. But again, he can DH. You don't have to put him at first base. He could have DH today. Hello? Bottom of the 8th, 6-0, Philadelphia. We were down 5-0 yesterday and came back and won. But it feels like they kind of, hit us with a gut punch there. Yeah, Nick has it, but everyone else on the goddamn team has. Yeah. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. All right, I like some of your posts, Matt. I'll go through after the stream is over, and I'll go through and look at all of those. This is what we do. Boys support the boys. Saturday is for the boys, but so is Sunday. Lots of effort involved here. It takes a lot of time and effort. Keep doing it, man. You said, let me put a couple plays in here. You literally put every play in fucking Liberty's playbook. Oh, nice grind, brother. He said, let me just put a couple plays in this thread, and Matt puts in like 20 plays. Way to put in the hustle and the grind. And that's why we're Northwest Sports Fanatics here. Some people would just put 1 or 2 plays. Nah, not Matt. Matt's like, let me put fucking 20 in there. Nice job, dude. Bottom of the 8th, 6-0, Philadelphia. They still got Zach Wheeler in the game. Son of a bitch. You got to be kidding me. Get this sucker out of the game. Sucker. Like, he's literally pitching the whole game. They're so mad that we beat them in the first 2 games, but specifically yesterday. That should have been a game that they won, and they would have won 2 out of 3, but instead the Mariners won 2 out of 3. Big swing and a miss to Hollywood Josh Rojas. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Where are we at on the likes? Are we at 35 yet? Still hovering around 30, 31. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Let's try to get to 35 before the stream ends. We need 4 more likes to get to the number. If you haven't smashed it, please do. 9 more to get to 40. 4 more to get to 35. Bottom of the 8th, 6-0, Philly. Next up for the Mariners, Dylan Moore. Come on, Demo. One-0 pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Jonathan Hernandez making his Mariners debut. That can't be good. Oh, man. Bottom of the 8th, 6-0 Philadelphia. But at least we didn't get swept, and we did win the series. So we're at 175, 25 to go. Salute to you, Matt. And I know that you really work hard. And again, I told you to, get a Twitter/X account so that way you can interact and be able to, do these certain things that you're really good at. And again, you may not be able to get the same type of views and likes and shares on every post, but trust me, your breakdowns are great. You're doing a great job. And sometimes you don't need to get the recognition from fucking strangers that don't even know you. You realize what you're doing is good. Keep putting that out there in the universe. And again, there's not really a lot of people that are doing what you're doing. And if the more that you do it, more people are going to know who you are. And I'll always support you, dude. Keep doing it. Bottom of the 8, 6-0 Philadelphia. Because even some of that stuff is even going to be advanced for even me. Like I play Madden in college football, and I played football. You know what I mean? And it's not on like the college or pro level, but I understand play concepts and everything of that nature, right? But again, for someone that played wide receiver and tight end, and that's what they love the most is like plays, routes, breakdowns. That's you. That's your thing. That's what you're the best at. So keep doing it, brother. Megan said, let me get you to the goal. Thank you so much. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus check, bang, 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 $20 holla. She said, let me do a little fiver here too. $5 holla. Let's go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus check, bang, bang, bang. We're at 2. Let's get to 3. Thank you so much. Popped up. And then the bottom of the 8th ends very quickly as Zach Wheeler trying to pitch a complete game. End of the 8th. Let's go to the top of the 9th. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. Yeah, Shepwa is in the building. We had Mr. Williams in the building for a little bit. It's nice to be able to see the goats come through and show love. And thank you for the like and share on the post. I don't even have to ask Megan. She already just does it automatically, which is great. And we appreciate having the goats in the room. Shout out to Megan, Lauren, and Matt for helping out with the post. And salute to you guys for supporting the brand and making sure that I can take care of Paisley and I can pay the bare minimum bills like the internet bill to continue the dream. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's start off some photos here for Megan. Megan donates so often on the channel, Shep. I have files just for her. Like, no lie. Like, literally, like 60 pictures or more of just different things. Pete Carroll, Hack, Anson, Stefan, whatever the thing is that she likes at that particular time. That's when you know you're a fucking goat. That you donate so much and support so much that you got your own files on my computer for just your stuff. That's a goat. Appreciate you. Shep, Mr. Williams, DX, all of y'all. Megan coming through. Photo on photo on photo on photo. I mean, even the Billy the Kids are in there too. Everything is in there. Appreciate you. Like, I can't even tell you how many photos I have for her. Like, no lie, I probably have like 50 to 100. But that's good, rather than me having to look them up every time. I started to learn, you start to learn about people and what their favorites are. And once you just create files, for those particular things, it's much easier to navigate if I'm producing my own show. You'd be an idiot having to look them up and find them every single time. So once you find them, you just group them into different categories. Appreciate you very, very much. Now we got Jonathan Hernandez making his debut here in the bullpen for the Mariners, but this game is over. We already won the first 2 games in the series. 6-0 Phillies right here, but we could have lost 1-0 or 2-0. But again, bringing in Taylor Saucedo, who's absolute trash, definitely exploded this lead from 2-0 to 6-0. But again, the Phillies are one of the best teams in baseball, so it happens. Next up is Bryson Stott, 242 average, 8 homers, and 44 ribbies. And we will be doing the Phillies and Dodgers tomorrow, since the Mariners have the day off at 7 p.m. Pacific. It is on MLB Network Global Broadcast. And then we'll get into the Mariners hosting the Tigers, and then on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll be grinding it out, and I believe those streams will be starting around 6:30 Pacific, 6:40. Two-two pitch. Stott. Popped up. One away. Top of the ninth with one at. Next up, left fielder Austin Hayes. Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. You know, when you started the Twitter/X and stuff, you just got to find those people, like Baldy's breakdowns, and like a lot of these people that actually do breakdowns, or people that specifically do plays, or just like there's like film of plays, so that way that you can comment on those plays and make a thread, and give your kind of 2 cents, on that particular play and what you think about it or whatnot. So you just got to do the research. Just like when I do the research, when I'm doing the vlogs and the blogs and the articles and the film study, and the reading for all the teams, it takes effort and a lot of time, but it's worth it. And it exponentially just makes you smarter and smarter, at understanding the game. Big swing and a miss on Austin Hayes there. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Hernandez, getting his debut here in the major leagues. Dan Casey. Pace and space, first down, X's and O's. Ty Jarman. Grant Caraway. What was your question earlier? I think I might have scrolled past it. What was it? There is no dumb question here. 1-2 pitch. Especially if you really have just started to get like hardcore into sports within the last few years, there's no dumb questions. Now, even if it's someone like me, that's been watching sports and wrestling since 1985, I still learn something from someone in the room every day. You want to make sure that you don't think you know everything. I feel that I bring a lot of intelligence to the channel, but that doesn't mean I know everything. I actually like to be able to learn from the people in the room. You can always learn something from someone else. I mean, that's really the big difference. If you think you know everything, those are the people that are dumb, that they think they got all the answers. You can always learn something from anybody out there. Next up is Kyle Schwarber. Between a perfect game and a no-hitter. It's not a dumb question. Top of the ninth, 6-0, Philadelphia. And again, a lot of people, depending on what you watch, I do everything here. Basketball, baseball, football, hockey, NASCAR, UFC, boxing, whatever. We do everything here. There's certain channels that only do one thing. They just do their favorite football team, whatever, just Seahawks, just Niners, or, just Chicago Bears, or, whatever. So again, when we're covering so many different things here, there's going to be some questions that come up. Not everyone is going to be an expert in every single sport that they watch, right? 3-1 pitch to Schwarber. Little dribbler up the middle. Big hit there for Schwarber up the middle with 2 outs. Nice job, Kyle. We're at 2. Let's see if we can get to 3, or even just add on a couple more. If not, completely fine. But we can always shoot for the next tier of the goal. We're at 2. Let's go for 3, baby. I don't think you've really asked any dumb questions ever, and especially you live in Australia, right? It would be like a lot of us, asking or commenting, on lacrosse or rugby or other types of things that, are going to be popular in Australia and New Zealand, and, asking stuff about the All Blacks. And, again, I know about some of that stuff because I did reaction videos when I first started the channel to the New Zealand All Blacks, and they even took some of my footage and made a compilation video that I was in. And I obviously don't know all the rules, of obviously rugby, lacrosse, and even learning some of the stuff in hockey terminology. I'm always learning, new things, every day. Now, of course, with like basketball, baseball, football, college and pro and NASCAR, I got that shit on lock. But I can always learn more on the soccer side, the NHL side, the F1 side, rugby and lacrosse side. I mean, I'm not going to be an expert there. I can admit that, but I'm trying to learn. So laws, see, there you go. Laws, not rules. See, that's another thing, which you've said multiple times as well. But of course, my brain won't remember that until you bring it up again. Top of the ninth, 6-0 Phillies. And the laws, not rules, what does that imply to? Is that for rugby and lacrosse or both? What is laws? What does that imply? Laws is for rugby and lacrosse, or is that just for one or the other? See, I'm learning. Let them know. There you go. Rugby and cricket. So nobody says rules for rugby and cricket ever? Like you look like an idiot if you say that? So it's always laws. They make it so official, like going to court. Laws. Two-two pitch to Trey Turner. Chopper. Routine play. Throw to first. Got him. All right, bottom of the ninth. All we got to do is get 6 runs, 7 to win. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, baby. All right, let's get some more photos up here. Is it football season yet? I mean, technically we had the Hall of Fame game, even though it got rained out. Look at that handsome fella. One of the best coaches of all time, college and NFL. Cade Marlowe, nice hit right up the middle. Here we go, Cade. Been forever for us to be able to get a hit. Nice job, Cade Marlowe. Nice base knock. Here we go. Here comes the big rally, baby. Next up, 0 for 3 with a K, which is very unusual. Left fielder, Randy Arozarena. But let's be honest, the reason why we had problems today is because we went against one of the best pitchers in baseball. You know, Zach Wheeler going into the game, 10-5 record, ERA of 2.94. And I hope one day, right, that we'll have records with some of our pitchers that at this point in the season that will be like that. So there's no shame in losing to a guy that's one of the best in the world, you know. It happens. And we didn't have Justin Turner playing today. So, but we'll see if we can get on a little bit of a run here. Left fielder, Randy Arozarena, baby. Come on, Randy. I put you on the thumb instead of Victor Robles. You got to step up. Yeah, I would think, 6-1, 2, or 3 will be much better than losing 6-0. I think they just gave him a breather, to give him a day off. We have so many players now, it's hard to, put everyone in. But Turner should be playing every day, and I don't think he's hurt. If someone wants to look it up, I'm going to look it up here tomorrow on Tuesday, and I can look to see if he's on the injury report, but I don't think he is. I think they just gave him the day off. But even if Turner did play, we probably wouldn't have won today, but I don't think we would be at 0 right now. I think we would be at least at 1, but let me look. No, he's not on the injury report. Only Dominic Canzone, Taylor Dollard, Gregory Santos, Julio Rodriguez, and J.P. Crawford. So it was just a rest day. But we already won the first 2 games, and after we ended up watching SummerSlam, I took Paisley for a walk. We were down 5-0 last night, and Mitch Haniger was the hero. Bases loaded, right? Well, it was like 2 outs, and he got a walk. And then the run came in from third base, and we ended up winning 6-5 in extra innings. So it was a huge, huge thing for Mitch Haniger, and we ended up coming back. So for us to be able to sweep a team that might win the World Series and is just as good as the Dodgers this season and is one of the best teams in baseball to win 2 out of 3, that's pretty fucking good. So I thought we were only going to win 1 out of 3 like we did against the Red Sox. So this was good. But we could have won 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox. And then we just overachieved this particular game. Double play. Safe at first. Fielder's choice with a runner out. 1 away. Cade Marlowe is out. Randy Arozarena is safe. There we go. Nice job, Randy. And now Mitch Garver coming in. No death threats. No, bad talk. We got to make sure that hopefully he can do some damage for us, but feel bad for the guy. We'll complain about a guy, but we're never going to talk nasty about a guy like that. We're never threatening a player or his family, no matter how bad they are. The Boo Birds will come out for Polo, but he started to turn it around. Let's see if Mitch Garver can get a homer here, like in this photo. And if we can lose 6-2, that's a hell of a lot better than 6-0, baby. Pitch is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mitch Garver. 167 average, 12 homers, and 38 ribbies. Yeah, super exciting. I took a 30-minute walk with Paisley when it was the 7th inning, and I got back by the 8th. So I was able to not miss too much, even though I had it on the DVR because I thought the game would be over when I got back after 30, 40 minutes. And I actually got a chance to see the last 2 innings. I only missed 1 inning. I had it recorded, but the score was still 5-5 at that point. But to get down 5-0 and to come back was awesome. But the vibes have definitely changed, and I'm very excited about Seattle sports. Sonics will be back soon, but the Mariners, Kraken, and Seahawks, man, it's like things are really starting to shape up, for the Pacific Northwest. And then obviously me and the state below being in Oregon, we're very excited about the Oregon Ducks. So bottom of the 9th, 6-0 Phillies. Runner at first, 3-2 pitch to Garver, right down the middle, strike 3. There goes Garv. Bye-bye. Tough. Strikeout. Looking. Next up, second baseman, possibly our last batter, but I'll throw this into the existence and into the sports gods world. Jorge Polanco. Trident's up, go for a homer, and then we end up losing 6-2. What do you say? 1-0 count for Jorge Polanco. And I'll be doing the Phillies and Dodgers tomorrow at 7 o'clock Pacific because the Mariners have a day off. And then we'll be back at it at home hosting the Detroit Tigers in a winnable series starting on Tuesday. 212 average, 10 homers, and 28 ribbies. 1-1 count, 1 ball, and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. Takes a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're 1 strike away from game being over. But we had a magical day with Mr. Williams, right? With Shep coming in. Obviously, DX, Megan coming in here to make us hit the second goal. Matt dropping the knowledge and, coming up with Twitter threads that are incredible. And that is it. He went around. Final score, Phillies 6, Mariners 0. I'm going to throw up a few more photos here for Megan before we leave. Only 3rd loss in the last 9 games, so we're all right. But it shows you how important Justin Turner is to this roster. It's crazy. Victor Robles and Randy Arozarena, but once we get JP and Julio back, that's what it's going to be really special. Tough loss, but we did win the series, so. Hit you with some Jay-Z and some Largent as well. I always love looking at photos from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So much nostalgia. There he is. Look at that hair. Long hair, don't care. Love it. Over the shoulder, baby. One of my favorites. High stepping before high stepping was cool. Black and white photos, undefeated. Anything else that you want to be able to see? Let me know. Megan, DX, anything else that you want to be able to see? Before I go, you let me know. Oh, no worries. Yeah, and that's all that matters, right? It doesn't have to be the best ever, but it's number one in your heart, and that's all that matters. We all have our favorites, you know? Like for me, there's certain guys on the Ducks, that didn't pan out in the NFL that I love, and I still rock the jerseys. Joey Harrington really got me to love Oregon Duck football, even though there was guys prior to him like Achilles Smith, Chris Miller, and a few others, Tony Graziani, but Joey Harrington is my guy. Failed on the Lions, but he's a Duck icon and legend. LaMichael James, love him. D'Anthony Thomas, love him. Justin Herbert, love him. There's going to Marcus Mariota, love him. But a lot of the guys didn't pan out on the NFL. But if they're number one to us, that's all that matters. Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, Rondé Barber, Mike Allstott, Simeon Rice. I'm going to have my favorites. Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Ichiro, right? Edgar Martinez, and now obviously with Cal and Julio. So, yeah, let's do that. I can do that for you. Final score, Phillies 6, Mariners 0. But that's all right. I'm not going to be in a bad mood. We already won the first 2 games, and they had their best pitcher on the mound in All-Star. So sometimes that's what happens. We'll have a day off, then we'll play the Tigers, and we'll start raking again, and we're going to be awesome. It's like this guy right here. You're never going to see another Ichiro ever again. One of my favorites of all time. Plus also me being, half Japanese myself, obviously having, that pride of having guys like Shohei Ohtani and Ichiro not only make it to the big leagues, but also being one of the best to ever play. That's what's really special. When you can have an athlete that, obviously that you can kind of connect with one way or another. And I'll hit you with some debt before we go too. Get some photos up here for Matt so he can get the bib. And then DX, anything you want to be able to see before we go, you let me know. And then I'm going to spend some time with Paisley now. And then I'm going to try to finish up The Boys. Season 4, episode 3. Obviously, the last season that is available until they make the new one. She's got pretty eyes. No problem. I think we're good at this point. DX, you still in the room? All right. Well, tough one today. Obviously, Philadelphia Phillies 6, Seattle Mariners 0. And hopefully we'll be able to, turn it around once we play the Tigers, but winning 2 out of 3. You can't win them all. And I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. I hope you enjoy those photos and that little montage. You guys are the best. And again, we'll be back tomorrow for the Phillies and Dodgers at 7 p.m. Pacific. And then on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to do the Mariners versus the Tigers. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Captain Oreo, Megan, and Matt, and DX, and all the rest. Shout out to, obviously, big additions by both Mr. Williams. Shep in the building. I didn't even know you were still in the room. Shep and Mr. Williams both in the room. You guys are awesome. I love you. Thank you for your love and support and the donos. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Okay.